welcome to Parish Panther football. Brian Shackelford here alongside Forrest Baldwin as we're ready to bring you tonight's game here in the Alamo City between the Cornerstone Christian Warriors and your Parish Panthers. And Forrest, tonight, a matchup here down in Alamo City as the sun is now set in the west, and Parish will try to maintain their discipline, taking on a one-loss team here for the second week in a row.
And the key there is maintain their discipline tonight in this game. Stay focused, stay dialed in to what needs to take place, and get the W and get back to Dallas.
Indeed, and speaking of the W, let's take a moment and relive the highlights from last week's victory over Bishop Lynch. Oh, and my apology for the fault in the subtitles, ladies and gentlemen. We thought we had a highlight video, and unfortunately we do not. So in that case, it is up to me to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Parish Panther football. You are looking live at Warrior Stadium on the campus of Cornerstone Christian Academy in San Antonio, Texas, as Game On Sports Network brings you live coverage of tonight's football matchup between your Parish Panthers and the Cornerstone Christian Warriors. Alongside Forrest Baldwin, this is Brian Shackelford welcoming you to tonight's broadcast at Warrior Stadium. And Forrest, the Parish Panthers take one final road trip outside the Metroplex to fill the week left open by the departure of a perennial District 1 opponent, the John Paul II Cardinals from TAPS Division I play this season. Tonight, the Panthers play their final non-district game of the season against a Cornerstone Christian Warrior squad with only one victory this year, as the Warriors look to return to their winning ways of the past 4 seasons. And although these two teams have not played since a 40-0 victory by Parish back in 2019, these two teams share common opponents this season that can help us gauge tonight's matchup.
Yeah, they do, and I got to tell you, Brian, a game that makes me nervous. It makes me nervous. It's one of those quirks in the schedule, like you mentioned, filling in that JP2 slot when they left the district, driving 300 miles down after one district game, and coming in and playing Cornerstone Christian, a school that's got a lot of football tradition, having gone 28-10 over the last 4 years, having a little bit of downtime this year, but certainly a team that's going to be ready to go on senior night facing our Panthers.
Yes, the senior night introductions is what has delayed our game time until 7:30. So, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize to all of you who are expecting a 7 p.m. start, as the senior night festivities ran a little long. But here we are now scheduled for a 7:30 p.m. kickoff, and you're right, Forrest, as the Cornerstone Christian Warriors come into this game with only one victory this year. You have to be careful if you're a Parish Panther fan, or especially a coach over there in a blue shirt tonight, because to the casual observer, this contest has trap game written all over it.
It does, and the Parish Panther football fan in me says, hey, we're going to go down to San Antonio, we'll take care of business, get the W, head back to Dallas, stop at Buc-ee's on the way, be home by 2 a.m.
Yes, because we only stop at Buc-ee's if we win.
Well, yeah, it's a winning stop. the former Parish middle school football coach in me is like, oh, man, guys, we got to stay focused. The message to the team all week, stay focused. Don't let the record fool you. And don't let the fact that this is sort of a one-off game in the middle of our district schedule fool you. We have got to stay laser focused on this game in execution, maintaining ball security, and avoiding those 15-yard penalties.
That is a very true statement, because if things do begin to get out of hand, much like they did last week in the Mercy Rule 44-0 victory over Bishop Lynch, I mean, not that I would think that you would see that here from the quality of squad and the quality of school you have here at Cornerstone Christian, but, you know, these are 14 to 18-year-old young men, and if things get lopsided, tempers can flare and things can get out of hand.
They can, and, of course, you know, we hate to see that. So we go to the national anthem now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll step aside.
And he will be playing on the alto saxophone.
We'll step aside for our national anthem. And a beautiful rendition of the national anthem. I don't know that I've ever heard it played on alto sax like that before,
yeah, beautiful.
Especially from a high school student. Great rendition of our national anthem to get this crowd fired up for some Friday night football in Texas. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, that's your line.
Well, it's a beautiful night for football. We're on the northwest side of the Alamo City, and sun has set. We've got a beautiful sunset.
And now our invocation.
Both teams and the safe travels everyone has taken. Lord, we ask that you guard these players in everything they do and give them the strength and ability to play to your glory no matter the outcome. Please also bless the coaches and the families of every athlete here. Tonight, we pray for safe travels and mercies for every family here back to their homes. Lord, we thank you because we know regardless of what happens tonight on this field, the victory is yours. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
And our apologies there for speaking over the beginning of the invocation. We were not aware that would be following the national anthem. But, yeah, as you said, Forrest, barely a cloud in the sky tonight, 84 degrees, game time temperature. And, folks, now we'll take you down to midfield for this evening's coin toss. Your captains for the Cornerstone Christian Warriors, number 16, number 72, number 23, and number 7. And Forrest, our captains for the Parish Panthers tonight.
Now you got Chase Burton wearing 0, Trey Williams wearing 2, Daniel Demery 14, and, of course, at quarterback tonight, 7, Sawyer Anderson, the captains for our Panthers.
And your officials from the Texas Association of Sports Officials, the San Antonio chapter this evening, your referee, Mr. Willie Adams, the umpire tonight, Don Mosley, the head linesman this evening, Dwayne Peterson, the line judge, Marshall Harris, and the back judge, George De La Cruz. And now Willie Adams meeting with the teams at midfield for tonight's coin toss.
Yeah, Brian, you mentioned earlier, the one win on the season for Cornerstone Christian, that was against Midland Christian.
It was.
And the other thing I think that folks may not realize or have seen, this team, this Warrior football team, has been on the road for 5 weeks straight.
That's a road. That's definitely a road trip right there.
I mean, and the thing I like about them is they play anybody, anywhere, anytime. If you look back over the previous seasons, so in that 5 weeks, they've been to Midland, they've been to East Texas, they've been to South Texas, they've been to Tennessee.
Yes, they played a team, I think, in week 2 in Brentwood, Tennessee.
And this is their first home game in 5 weeks. Great crowd tonight. They're going to be fired up to have their guys back on the home turf here.
And definitely a packed house here tonight on the home side at Cornerstone Christian. On the visitor side, the Panther faithful traveling well this evening. And Forrest, looking at some of the statistics as we go into tonight's game, as head coach John Bachman brings his 1-6 Cornerstone Christian Warrior team on the turf tonight.
Yeah, common opponents you mentioned earlier. We do have a couple of common opponents between our two teams. The Warriors played Prestonwood on September 23rd. They lost that game 44-7. Of course, we'll play Prestonwood our last district game, which will be a big showdown game for us. And then that number 1 team in the state, China Spring.
Yeah, the 4A Division II defending state champions, who Parish ended their 20-game winning streak 2 weeks ago.
They played them on September 30th. They lost that game 49-16. And again, you mentioned the last meeting between our two clubs, November 8th of 2019. That was a 40-0 win for Parish at Gloria H. Snyder Stadium.
Right, and Cornerstone, a previous member of TAPS, they left TAPS, I believe, in 2018 and have since pursued an independent non-district schedule. As you said, taking all comers the last 2 years. They've even had one game against a team, an American football team from Mexico.
Exactly. And I like that. I mean, they play and they're playing great schools, too. They're not playing pushovers.
And Cole Clark puts his foot into the football. We're underway. Daniel Demery from the 14-yard line. Has Mays as a blocker, looks for room 25. Peels off to the 30. He's got room to run on the far side. Cut back 35, 40. Still on his feet, across midfield, and all the way into Warrior territory at the 48-yard line. Daniel Demery showing extreme patience on that kick return, waiting for the blocks to develop. And that's a kick return of 48 yards to start the night for Parish.
Yeah, great point that he let the blockers develop in front of him. You see, a lot of times they'll receive that kickoff, and then it is just straightforward down the field. And Daniel delayed maybe 2 or 3 times to let those blocks take place and those holes to open up. And you're looking now 1st and 10 across the 50-yard line at the Warrior 48.
Just like last week, the Parish Panthers start their first drive in plus territory. At the Warrior 48-yard line, Sawyer Anderson, your quarterback. They'll start with 2 receivers to the top side. Now they'll switch it to a trips formation. As Anderson looks to throw, he wants the home run on the first play. And just overthrows Daniel Demery, falling incomplete. Demery covered on the play by number 11, Carter McCray. It brings up 2nd down and 10, and why not go for the home run right off the bat?
I like it, and that's a formation that we have not seen very often this year with Daniel Demery lining up at the running back position to the right of Sawyer, and then he just ran just a go route out of that backfield. And, had his guys beat. He was double covered all the way down, but just a little bit out of his grasp, out of his reach.
One of the few times this season we've seen the wingback in the game, and now Cooper Mayland is the wingback here on 2nd down and 10. Maddox Reed with the carry. He's going to try to turn the corner, and he'll be denied by the Warrior defense. He'll be taken out of bounds for a loss on the play, and we'll see where they spot forward progress. It looks like it'll be a loss of 3 back to the Panther 49-yard line. The stop for Cornerstone Christian by number 37, Zayde Enriquez.
So now just like that, we're looking at a 3rd and 15 or so.
Indeed, 3rd, and we'll call it 15 at the Panther 44-yard line. Maddox Reed, the back to the right of Sawyer Anderson, standard spread formation. As they look to convert 3rd and long here early in the first quarter. Anderson goes across the middle, and that pass dropped. Hutch Crow had that in his hands, and a rare drop for Mr. Crow. That's going to bring up 4th down and long.
And we've got a flag in the backfield.
And this very well may be roughing the passer against Cornerstone. Personal foul. It appears to be, hands to the face against Parish. A personal foul penalty, hands to the face. Caught me off guard there because the referee tonight is using a bright orange flag and not the standard yellow flag that we're used to seeing most of the time. But Willie Adams bringing out the bright orange laundry here this evening at Warrior Stadium.
That is, it's nearly
almost a fuchsia
or burnt orange, maybe color. I don't know under these.
Why did you shiver when you said burnt orange?
Well, Hey,
I thought you were about to fall down.
Well, a maroon flag. That'd be fine.
The punt by Parish taken at the 26-yard line. The fair catch by number 11, Carter McCray. And the Warriors will go to work now, 1st down and 10. And not what you expect, Parish coming in here tonight against a 1-win Cornerstone Christian team, 3 and out on the first drive.
That's what the Warriors want. I couldn't have asked for a better defensive start to the game for the Warriors, especially on giving it to Maddox on that ride sweep to the right. We always talk about lateral pursuit when I'm on the broadcast, keeping that outside shoulder free and stringing that play out. Perfect. Put us behind the sticks.
It did.
And then, drop 3rd down, then a penalty. 1st and 10 Warriors.
So Warrior defense +1. The offense now takes over 1st and 10 of the 26. Coming to the near side, the pass caught. That throw from the quarterback, Sam Flores King, pulled in by Joshua Cervantes. The sophomore makes the catch at the 32-yard line. And Cornerstone starts with a gain of 6 on 1st down.
Well, nice scramble by the quarterback in the backfield. In talking to Coach Bachman this week, he said offensively, make sure you watch senior wide receiver 7, Carson Solis out there, that he is an offensive player to watch. A senior, 6'4", 201 pounds in that game against Brentwood out in Tennessee. Second half, 9 catches, 135 yards in the second half.
In the second half alone. And Sam Flores King handing off on 2nd down to the tailback in the game, number 5, Azarian Sterling. And Sterling has 1st down yardage for the Warriors. They move the sticks. And they now have a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 at their own 37. Clock moving with 9 minutes to play. In the opening quarter, this is the first drive for Cornerstone Christian. Parish had the ball to start, 3 and out. Flores King, the handoff. Azarian Sterling with the carry. And great defense right there by Daniel Davis to stop Sterling behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of 1.
Daniel Davis flying in from that safety position to come up and fill that hole with a nice open field tackle, bringing him down.
So the strong safety notches his first tackle of the evening for the Panthers. And they'll give Sterling forward progress back to the line of scrimmage. Second down, 10 yards to go for the Warriors. And, folks, once again, we want to thank you for joining us live here on Game On Sports Network for tonight's broadcast from the Alamo City. Flores King with one back in the backfield. Now coming in motion, the tight end, he'll set up in a wingback position. And a little bit of movement in the offensive line. That will cost the Warriors 5 yards. Actually, I see what it is now. That's a pink flag for breast cancer awareness.
Oh, it is?
It
okay.
Looks, I'm going to go with that.
I like that.
Yep.
Heck yes. It's just, I guess, under the fluorescent lighting.
It's this LED lighting, yeah.
A little off color. Boy, that's not what you want if you're the Warriors, right, on this first drive. I mean, you're looking at 2nd and 10 and just a false start, a little mental lapse, and now you're 2nd and 15 against this Parish defense.
The wingback and 2 receivers on the top of the formation, 2nd and 15 at the 32-yard line. Flores King with plenty of time. He's going to roll to his right and bring it down, and he'll just get to the line of scrimmage. They end up all the way into the bench, but pulling up before hitting Flores King. That's Parker Meese. We'll credit him with the tackle. And actually, he was trying to hold up Flores King from going into the bench rather than the way the Warriors fans seemed to take it.
Yeah, it looked worse than what it actually was. I mean, he was trying to hold up and make sure that because he knows what happens. That's a 15-yarder.
Oh, they had a couple of those mental mistakes last week that they definitely needed to work on, even though they secured the victory. And we'll see how things go now. 3rd down, 15 for Cornerstone at their own 32-yard line. Flores King back to throw. The pass coming to the near side, and it's complete to Christoph Seneca. But Seneca taken out of bounds for a gain of a yard on the play. A nice play there by D.C. Crane on the big tight end.
Yeah, that is a big tight end that they got out there. I'm not really – that wasn't really the route you wanted to throw to on.
No, that was your third option check down.
That was a check down route. So,
and they'll give him credit for a yard on that play out to the 33. It'll bring up 4th down and 14. And now Demery back deep for the punt.
Oh, I think they may have gotten a hand on it.
I think they did get just a hand on it. That punt partially blocked, bounces just on the Panther side of midfield. And it will be downed by the Warriors, securing possession. Number 8, Will Bain. And the Panthers go back to work. After one first down, they force the punt from Cornerstone.
Yeah, and they brought the house on that, didn't they?
They did. That was the punt block right there.
That was the punt block, and good work by the Panthers getting a hand on it without getting into the kicker.
Yeah, Broderick Floresca, the special teams coordinator, and Coach Novikov, they're dialing up the game here early. They go for the home run on the first play of scrimmage, and the first punt opportunity, they go for the block. Now on 1st and 10, the pass to the far sideline, Derek Eusebio with the catch on the screen pass. And that's some yak right there, some yards after catch for Derek Eusebio, very close to a first down. And Eusebio has definitely been making his mark and his name known on this Panther squad this season.
He has leading receiver for the Panthers coming in tonight, 32 receptions, 401 yards, averaging about 12.5 yards per receptions, 8
then he only got 10 on that play. So,
and he had the two TD game last week against Bishop Lynch, part of that 5 TD game from Sawyer Anderson.
Yes.
And also on that play, that was Cedric Mays.
Yes.
Number 3 out
big
there
block.
That had that initial big block that sprung Eusebio.
1st and 10 again for the Panthers. Now Maddox Reed woken up with the pass on the back shoulder. A great adjustment there by Reed. And what should have been an incomplete pass, Reed turns into a gain of 5 for Parish.
Athletic play by Mr. Maddox there. Again, like you said, not really where you want that ball to be, reaching back for it. Turn nothing into something there for a gain of 5 yards, 2nd 5.
If he does that one more time, we can probably start saying it's Maddox Reed doing Maddox Reed things.
We could.
There we go.
We could.
2nd down and 5, Panthers, the jet sweep.
Oh, I like it. Get upfield.
He's going to turn the corner, got the first down and more. And right there, you talked about Mays having the block downfield on the screen pass to Eusebio. Right there, the block that got Maddox Reed the first down came from none other than Cedric Mays.
It's just
I love people.
He is. I love the way this football team plays, the way they look out for each other, the way they do what they're asked. There is plenty of offense to spread around, and they know that. So, look, I'm going to block. Next time I'm going to catch a pass.
5:30 to play in the first period. A fresh set of downs. The Panthers continue 1st and 10 at the Warrior 32. Anderson, the shoulder fake. He's going to go across the middle.
Nice.
Wide open, Cedric Mays, and he'll stroll into the end zone. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. And boys and girls, if you're watching at home, right there, that is how you run the post route from the slot. 32 yards in the touchdown.
A little shoulder fake by Sawyer as he was dropping back, a little pump one way, and that post route beautifully run so fast going through that zone right there.
Great
catch. Yeah.
Great cut by Mays to get separation.
Only 14 catches so far. That's catch number, I guess, 15 or 16 after tonight. Third TD.
And the lime green foot of Ryan Schiller is true. The extra point good. And, folks, your score with 5:52 remaining in our opening quarter here at Cornerstone Christian Academy. It's your Parish Panthers 7, Cornerstone Christian Warriors nothing. And Forrest, after the first 3 and out by the Panthers, they seem to recover nicely there. A 54-yard touchdown drive on their second possession.
Good, clean football. You started this, and that's the thing, right, that we didn't have any penalties on that drive.
Yes.
So moving the football. You had that great catch by Maddox to really kind of keep the drive going. Otherwise, you're looking at an incomplete and a third.
Well, once again, what keeps the drive going there is the block by Cedric Mays.
Yeah, and Cedric Mays. So
otherwise, you're looking at 4th and 3 in a decision.
Right.
But no, like you said, that was the highlight of that drive is running backs and wide receivers blocking for their own and allowing yards after the catch, and that's what made that a 6-play drive and a touchdown for Parish.
And I think if you can get the ball into Cedric Mays' hands, into Eusebio, into Hutch, Maddox, those are going to be superior athletes probably tonight. If you get the ball into them, just watch them work afterwards. And like you're talking about the yards after catch or yards after contact.
Dylan Sherman with the kick off the hands of number 12, Sam Flores King. And that's not something that's number 16. I was about to be completely stunned that the starting quarterback was back on kickoff return.
Yeah. Bad decision, coach, as they say, if that's the way he goes.
No, that was number 16, Troy Tomaselli. The ball off his hand and through the back of the end zone, a touchback. And Dylan Sherman has been doing yeoman work for the Panthers this season on kickoffs.
Those special teams are so important. It's a way for kids to get noticed by coaches, too. You want to get some playing time, go out and cover kicks, go out and return kicks, punt cover, punt return, whatever it is, go out and make something happen.
1st down and 10 for Cornerstone. Flores King at quarterback, handing off to number 5, Azarian Sterling. Sterling over right guard. He'll have a healthy gain on that play of about 9. Brought down on the play by number 6 for the Panthers, Bryson Blackmore. And a big hole there over left guard for the Warriors, a gain of 9.
I like these 2nd and 1 situations.
Playbook's wide open.
Playbook's wide open. For me, it was always take a shot downfield because I figure I can get 1 yard. I'm going to trust my offensive line to get 1 yard.
The blitz.
Oh, no.
That was timed beautifully by the Stanford commit, Trey Williams. Oh, he had that time perfectly. Nobody saw him. Williams almost got the handoff. Instead, he tackles Sterling for a loss of 10.
Wow. Boy, they met in the backfield at the same time, came in untouched. That edge rush by Trey, that is a dangerous tool he has. You've got to account for that somewhere.
And that's why he's going to Stanford next year, because he did the math and timed that perfectly.
He did. Great jump. Great jump. Yeah, I'm thinking 2nd and 1. Let's take a shot downfield, and the next thing you know,
it's 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11.
Now 3rd and 11 for the Warriors back at their own 20-yard line. Sam Flores King, he'll fake on play action, looking to throw, and there's Trey Williams again. Back at the 12-yard line, Williams feasting on this Cornerstone Christian offensive line. 2 sacks in 2 plays, and that's going to make it 4th down and 20 for Cornerstone Christian.
Boy, they sent Joshua Cervantes, the running back, out there to pick up Trey Williams on that play. Trey engaged him, forced the quarterback back inside, and then just threw Cervantes to the ground and sacked the quarterback.
And now the punt on 4th down and 20, almost blocked again by Cave. This will send Eusebio back to the 44-yard line.
Oh!
Eusebio gets away. Oh!
There you go.
And that will be a penalty flag for a face mask there. Obviously unintentional.
But Eusebio is slow to get up.
Yeah, Julian Sanchez and Eusebio is still down on the turf. That was a little bit of a neck twister there. Obviously not deliberate, but, you know, these things happen in football. We hope Eusebio is going to be okay as we have an injury timeout on the field.
That was somewhat of a violent, again, to your point, unintentional.
No, he just was.
He just reached out and he got. It looked like he got not necessarily maybe the face mask, but
he got the side of the
inside of the helmet.
Yes.
And pulled Eusebio's head back around very quickly. As Eusebio's up now.
Yeah,
and walking off under his own power.
Yeah, we hope he'll return to action quickly as Eusebio just trying to shake the cobwebs loose on that one. The 15-yard penalty for the face mask will move the ball into plus territory at the Cornerstone 39-yard line. And right there, the 15-yard penalty rears its head again, this time in favor of Parish, and an even shorter field for the third drive of the game for the Panthers.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from the 39 after the 15-yard mark-off. That's a tough one to swallow for that Warrior defense.
And we'll see what Sawyer Anderson and company can do here. Cooper Malin still in the game at wingback, and we've got a stoppage of time. Coach Novikov does not like what he sees. He'll spend his first time out, or as you like to say, Forrest, he'll invest that first time out of the half with 3:26 remaining in the opening quarter.
I think that's Jim. That's his word.
It may be.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, Jim, we owe you 10.
Yeah, we owe you 10 there. No, I like the investment in the timeout.
Yeah. No, I mean, then, once again, it's the coach's mantra. In the second half, you use them when you have to. In the first half, you use them when you need to. And right there, Coach Novikov did not like what he saw on that play, and he's going to reset the offense with 3:26 to play in the opening quarter.
And I don't mind that. 1st and 10 on the Warrior 39-yard line, an opportunity to go down and score again. Let's get it off to a good start.
Anderson with 2 receivers to the top of the screen. He'll hand off on the delay to Maddox Reed. And Reed with a short gain, maybe 2 on the play. The defensive effort for Cornerstone Christian, led by number 42, David Bowman, and number 51 of the Warriors. And it will set up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, I wonder, we're seeing some different guys playing offense than we have in the past. I wonder if he's trying to get some variety in, opening up, like you said, the playbook a little bit, and seeing who we got. As we've got a pitch here, cuts inside.
And now on 2nd down, the pitch straight ahead. A little inside shuttle pass from Anderson. That ball in the hands of Cedric Mays. And he'll gain about 5 to the 31-yard line. It's going to set up 3rd down and 2.
Number 13, Draper. That'll bring up a Panther 3rd down.
Third down and 2 now for Parish as they have the ball at the Cornerstone 31-yard line. Clock down to 2:15 remaining in the first quarter. The swing pass to Eusebio, and that one read pretty well by number 1 of Cornerstone. They make the tackle, Jalen Morgan, and now Coach Novikov with a decision on 4th down.
Yeah, another little quick screen. Bryson Fields out there, 13, the big receiver, just couldn't quite get that block pinned in. And a good play by the Warrior corner there to wrap him up.
And it looks like they'll go for it on 4th down. Maddox Reed.
There we go.
What a sidestep right there for the first down. Spin move inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. And that right there is a good decision. It looked like it would have been a 49-yarder for Ryan Schiller. Instead, they hand the ball to Maddox Reed.
Line up, get up there,
yards.
line up quick, and run that play. No hesitation, no second thought about it.
And now quickly back to the line after a huddle. 1st and 10 for Parish at the Cornerstone 15-yard line inside the final 80 seconds of this first half. 7-0 in favor of your Panthers. A high snap. Anderson pulls it down. Oh, it's intercepted.
Picked off.
With the pick for Cornerstone Christian, number 13, Samuel Draper. And I think that perhaps after the bad snap, Anderson rushed that one a little too much.
I completely agree with you. That whole thing looked disjointed from the snap when it came off high. Sawyer had problems handling it, threw it into double coverage, picked off. As the Warriors will take over 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line. That's unfortunate.
An unforced error there by Sawyer Anderson. I think the better choice there would have been to pull the ball down and run with it. As Anderson throws his first pick of the evening, and Cornerstone takes over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. 1:06 to play in the opening quarter. Sam Flores-King back to throw. He's going to go deep down the middle of the field. And that's picked. Oh,
my.
And
we have all kinds of things going on there.
Yeah, that looked to me more like Carson Solis tackled Daniel Demery, although the Warrior faithful thought,
in the midst of,
yes,
they thought
different.
different.
It was the other way around.
They thought different.
The officials decided not to do anything about it, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Wow. Yeah, and you had that taking place, and then you had Walker Anderson going up trying to time that jump and get that interception as Demery's getting hauled down by Solis, and
right.
I
thought the referee was going to go into wrestling mode there and do two, take down blue, 2 points.
My goodness.
2nd down and 10 now for Cornerstone. The ball remains at their own 21-yard line with less than a minute to play in the first quarter. Azarian Sterling coming to the near side, and he'll be turned back upfield by Daniel Demery, and the tackle applied by Seth Scott, who is leading all TAPS Division I tacklers in tackles this season.
Boy, he is a beast at that linebacker position, isn't he?
He's
lateral
picking
flow,
up right where Keegan Addison left off.
Hey, good example.
Yeah.
Keegan Addison, a great Parish linebacker, all for 4-year starter.
Yes.
And Parish has a history all the way going back to 2009, 2010, even back then, of having real hard-nosed linebackers.
3rd down and 9 now for the Warriors as Flores King back to
Look
throw.
out.
Double blitz coming. The ball's loose. Stripped out by D.C. Crane. Let's see who's got it. Crane came on the cornerback blitz as Will Galusha pulling out all the stops here on 3rd down and 9. And Cornerstone recovers, securing possession for the Warriors. Number 72, the lineman Isaiah Recondo. But this will force a punt on 4th down and 14.
And D.C. Crane just came in untouched on that cornerback blitz. Nobody picked him up.
No, it looked exactly like Trey Williams just a moment earlier on that sack. It seems like they have the snap count down for Flores King. As the horn sounds, ending our first quarter of play. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got the first 12 minutes in the books as we move forward here in Week 8 action in the 2022 Parish Panther season. And ladies and gentlemen, your scores, we head to second quarter action here at Warrior Stadium. It's your Parish Panthers 7, Cornerstone Christian Warriors nothing. And Forrest, even though Parish started out the game with a 3-and-out, that entire first quarter, with the exception of just a couple of plays, was played in the Warrior side of the field.
Yes, it was. Yeah, they had definitely tilted the field into that southwest side of the field. Playing a lot of football down there. Only 7 points to show as we had that interception on that drive. We should get the ball back here with pretty good field position as you've got Demery lining up on the 35. And Parish has really pressured the punter the last 2 Warrior punts. And it looks like he'll be punting for maybe his own 5-yard line. You want to try and go for the block again on this?
Oh, I think Broderick Florseca, the special teams coordinator, may have the punt block dialed up again as Eusebio and Demery move up to the Panther 45-yard line. And we'll open the second quarter of play, 4th down and 14 for the Warriors back at their own 17-yard line.
I would not punt the football to either one of those young men. And it's blocked.
The punt blocked and picked up at the 12-yard line by Cornerstone Christian, but that won't matter. Credit James Cave with the punt block for the Panthers. He's having a fantastic 2022 season.
Wow, a tall young man to begin with, and when he rushes in and he gets those arms up and extends his body length by another 3 or 4 feet, it was just right. There was nothing that punter could do. The ball came right off into him.
No, a beautiful, clean punt block. And, I mean, 4 people in the area, and Cave just happened to be the one that got his hands on it. And now it's the Panthers starting with a very short field inside the red zone. 1st down and 10 at the Warrior 12-yard line. Opening seconds of the second quarter. Anderson back to throw. He'll hit Eusebio out in the flat, one-on-one with the cornerback, and taken out of bounds by number 11, Carter McCray, at the 5-yard line, a gain of 7.
Man coverage for the Warriors, and Eusebio just ran that little out route, which we've seen so far this year, that having a little bit of trouble for Parish on getting that timing down. Perfect timing on that to Eusebio. Put the ball in his hands, yards after catch. Let's go.
2nd down and 3 at the Warriors 6-yard line. Standard spread formation straight at the middle. Maddox Reed. Now, did he get in the end zone? And he did.
Yeah.
The officials' arms are in the air. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. A 6-yard scoring run for Maddox Reed. Now 1 passing touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown here in the first half for Parish.
Inside handoff to Maddox Reed. Gets tackled really about the 2.5 yard line, gets tripped up, keeps his feet moving, leans forward, nose to fall forward, gets the ball across the goal line before he's down.
Ryan Schiller out of Chase Burton's hold is true. The extra point is good, and folks, your new score with 11:19 remaining in our first half here at Warrior Stadium in San Antonio. It's now your Parish Panthers 14, Cornerstone Christian Warriors nothing. And I would think at this stage, Forrest, there really isn't any team in this state that would want to give the Parish Panthers the ball 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
No, there's not. That's a tall order for any defense in Texas with that short field to work with.
And a quick 2-play drive puts your Panthers up by 2 touchdowns here with just over 40 seconds gone in the second quarter. 11:19 remaining in the first half. And the timeout's not correct on the scoreboard. Parish has 2 timeouts remaining, as Cornerstone Christian has their full complement of 3. Now dropping deep for the Warriors.
Special teams are important, Brian, as you well know. You demonstrated right there.
Azarian Sterling and Troy Tomaselli dropping deep for Cornerstone. And yes, special teams and defense have been the hallmark of the last 2 weeks. I mean, 5 touchdown passes aside for Sawyer Anderson. A great night last week, but it was the special teams unit that had that Panther squad up 16-0 2 minutes into that ball game last week. This is going to be Tomaselli, it's Azarian Sterling from the 3-yard line. He finds a seam at the 25.
Oh, big block.
At the 30. He's out to midfield. Puts a move on Walker Anderson. And the kicker, Dylan Sherman, earns his paycheck tonight. That'll get him an extra brisket sandwich at Buc-ee's. Sherman makes the stop. But it's a big kick return for Azarian Sterling back to the Panther 33-yard line.
And what a great block at about the 35, 40-yard line. I didn't quite see who it was for the Warriors. And I think he got on Conrad Binkley there on the coverage. It sealed him off to spring another 20, 25 yards.
That was right here
down
at the 40-yard line.
So another big special teams play all of a sudden, and you're 1st and 10 in Parish territory.
The handoff to Azarian Sterling at the 33-yard line. He gets away from one would-be Parish tackler down inside the 30 to the 27. And now the momentum quickly shifting to the Warriors here following the big kick return. That's a gain of 6 on first down.
Boy, it fires up the fans. It fires up the team. You get a little more confidence knowing that you're not going to have to go 80, 75, 80 yards downfield.
They'll have the bunch formation on the top side here on 2nd down and 4. As Williams trying to time the blitz. Flores King handing off to Sterling, and he's dead to rights in the backfield. Tries to put a move on Trey Williams, and Williams says, I'll have none of that. I'm going to tackle him.
No, Trey Williams had broken down, had a wide stance, was ready to move whichever direction that running back went, and there was nothing to happen.
Well, he did try to cut to the right, and standing there was Cooper Malin for the tackle.
Well, pick your poison at that point.
Do I want to be tackled by 2 or 15? It doesn't matter.
The thing you've got to do, I think if you're the Warriors, you nearly need to have in a passing situation a 2 backs in the backfield. You've got to pick up each side of that rush.
3rd and 7 now as Flores King will fake the handoff on play action. He's going to dink it. And the catch knocked away by number 19, Kamzi Arinze, the intended receiver, Izzy Gonzalez. And once again, the Warrior faithful not happy with that call. They think that Arinze was just a touch early.
Just a tad early.
I don't know that I'm going to
I'm not
disagree
necessarily,
with him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm not going to agree with him, but I'm not going to disagree with him.
You're going to feel strongly both ways on that?
I'm going to feel strongly neutral in that situation.
I've seen you're starting to see that play run more where it's maybe a fake handoff, run towards the line by the quarterback, and then just a little dump pass.
And now 4th down and 7 as the Warriors will go for it here at the Parish 30-yard line. Flores King, he's going to swing it out to Sterling. And what a great open field tackle by D.C. Crane. That was Sterling on Crane, advantage Crane, turnover on downs.
Great stop by Crane, one-on-one tackle. And there wasn't many tacklers behind Crane, so if he gets past Crane, he's going to end up probably with that first down.
If not dancing on the blue turf at the end of the
yeah,
field.
Exactly.
Dare I say he used Crane technique? Okay, we'll give you younger folks a chance to Google that while we...
I'm going to have to Google that.
Oh, come on, Karate Kid. The Crane technique.
Oh, I got you like this. Yeah. Too bad we don't have a shot of this on TV right now. Yeah.
There you go. We'll have to get that on Instagram later, on Forrest Baldwin's Instagram. In the meantime, the Panthers will take over 1st down and 10 just inside their own 30-yard line with 9:39 remaining in the half. A nice defensive stand. And D.C. Crane saving the day for the Parish defense. Cedric Mays will split outside. They'll hand off a straight zone read to Reed Maddox, rather. And he's out beyond the 35 to the 36-yard line. A quick 7-yard gain to open the drive for Parish.
A lot of speed coming through that hole as well. I mean, he hit that. That's one thing about that. He hits
power and speed.
Woo. Woo. He hit it, you know.
And he's just a junior, folks.
And if you're a free safety, have it come up and take on that.
Third down and 3. Anderson's going to throw across the middle. Oh, behind Mays. Oh. Just barely behind Mays. I think he should have had that. He did get both hands on the football.
Yeah, over that left shoulder as he's running that route, and just right in and out of his hands. Nearly picked off as that ball went into the air.
Nearly picked off by junior Carter McCray. McCray with excellent concentration almost brought that ball in for a Warrior pick. But as it stands now, it's going to be third down and 3 for the Panthers. As the Panthers look to convert here and change field position on the Warriors with just over 9 minutes to play in the half. 14-0 in favor of Parish for those of you just joining us here on Game On Sports. Anderson,
right there.
Play action. He's going to look for the slant route, and that's an easy first down. Derek Eusebio, he makes such great cuts to get that step and a half separation from the defensive back, and that's a quick 8 yards and a first down.
Yeah, great little slant route for him off the play action. I was actually thinking before the play, I'd give it to Maddox. On that third
like
3. And that's what they froze those linebackers right there with that play action, slant pass, boom, first and 10.
Great fake on the zone read by Sawyer Anderson. You were right, Forrest. And now a fresh set of downs for the Panthers at their own 47-yard line, first and 10. Anderson back to throw. He's going to go out in the flat, complete. Cedric Mays with the catch. First down and more. He's going to turn the Jets on. Gets a block downfield from Eusebio and adds another 5 yards. And there they go again. These receivers and running backs blocking for each other, extending these plays. First down and 10, Panthers.
So Eusebio streaks downfield on the go route, takes his defender with him. You have a little crossing rub route on the inside that pulls those defenders away. A little dump off to 5, downfield. He's got a lot of real estate in front of him.
And Mays with a gain of 25 on the play. First and 10, Parish at the Cornerstone 28. Anderson on the stop route, complete to Hutch Crow. And Crow tries to get away from the defender, but staying home to make the stop. That's number 1 of Cornerstone Christian, Jalen Morgan. But the sticks move again. Another first down and 10. 13 yards on the hook route for the Panthers.
A little, drive your defender off the line, stop, turn around. The ball's going to be there. Boom, go.
And the sticks move again. Now the ball at the 17-yard line. First and 10, Panthers. They'll stay. And a basic spread formation. Hutch Crow and Eusebio down at the bottom of the screen. Now Mays will join them in the trips. Anderson, the pass to Maddox Reed. And the catch made by Maddox Reed inside the 5-yard line. And effective use there of the motion to pull the defenders to the bottom of the screen. And they go back against the grain to Reed for a gain of 7.
Yeah, smart football play right there. Smart play design. Get the defenders to follow Cedric Mays across the field, effectively pulling the defense to trips on the defensive left side, throw to the defensive right side where nobody's there.
Second down and a short 2 at the 9-yard line. Anderson on play action. The pass to Trey Williams.
Oh,
Williams,
wow.
With 2 defenders, loses his helmet, and that should be the end of the play.
Yeah, they've got to blow that dead.
Yeah, the play blown dead at the 6-yard line as the helmet comes off of Williams. And that was a rule that was instituted in just about all categories of football about 2 years ago after the very famous play with Jason Witten against the Philadelphia Eagles where his helmet was stripped off and he took off for about another 25 yards downfield.
I was just thinking that same thing about that play when you started talking about it.
Yep.
That was football tough back in the day with you run against the Philadelphia Eagles without a helmet on for 35, 40 yards.
Exactly. And you don't catch a snowball in the side of the head with a battery in the middle.
Yeah.
First and goal now for the Panthers at the Cornerstone 7-yard line. 6:09 remaining in the first half. Anderson will roll to his left. Out. Oh, Mays. Anderson threw that behind Mays. Had he led him, I think Mays strolls into the corner of the end zone for another score. As it is, the incomplete pass makes it second down and goal.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there on the route between Sawyer and Mays, that it just didn't quite look right.
Well, also one of the toughest throws for a quarterback to make is backpedaling and then throwing across his body. For a right-handed quarterback to throw is cross his body to the left. That's a tough throw to ask of just about anybody, much less a high school sophomore. And now second down and goal, Panthers at the Warriors' 7-yard line as we approach the midway point of this second quarter. Eusebio in motion. He'll go back out. They're looking across the middle for Crow. And this time, Anderson overcompensated and led Crow just a little too much. Third down and goal coming up.
I think there may have been a hand in there from the decision. It looked like maybe a little bit of a reach-in on that to help deflect that ball away or that arm of Crow down.
Yeah, I think that was number 31, Gideon Torre for Cornerstone, that got just a fingertip on it because the ball seemed to have a little bit of a wobble after about 3 yards. And I think that deflected it out in front of Hutch Crow. As it is, this is a 4-point play here for the Panthers. Third down and goal at the Cornerstone Christian 8-yard line. Anderson's going to roll to his right. He's going to take off and run inside the 5, trying to get there, reaching. And the line judge is going to put him down at the half-yard line. And now
Sawyer Anderson
puts his head down, pushes the B button, and moves the right stick forward. And now this is a very interesting decision here for Daniel Novikov and offensive coordinator Matt Faulkner. But it looks like they're going to bring in the jumbo package and go for it. Fourth down and goal inside the 1-yard line. The handoff.
There you go.
And into the end zone with ease. Is that Williams? No. That's going to be number 5, Maddox Reed, with his second rushing touchdown of the night. Touchdown, Parish Panthers.
No question about it. That's who you're going to give the ball to. It's give it to Maddox Reed and that. The way he's running tonight, the power he has in his legs. And you only got to get a half yard.
And now Ryan Schiller on to kick. Burton to hold. Penalty flag as the extra point is good. But let's check that penalty flag coming in from the head linesman on the far side. The signal by the referee, Willie Adams, the extra point is good. And it looks like they're just going to pick up the flag. I think it may have been offside against the Warriors. But either way, your score, ladies and gentlemen, with 5:21 remaining in the first half. Here at Warrior Stadium in San Antonio, it's your Parish Panthers 21, Cornerstone Christian Warriors nothing. And once again, this one was an extended drive off that kickoff. The Warriors had the ball almost down to the Parish 20-yard line. Parish took over 1st and 10 at their own 29, and a sustained drive, 71 yards and 6 plays for the Panthers' third touchdown of the night.
Nice offensive drive, the longest drive we've seen tonight. And I think really something that they needed to get into and get that rhythm going, play after play after play. And also we're seeing, again, some personnel in on offense that we haven't seen in very much, even if at all, this year.
No, I think Maitland has played almost every snap on offense as the wingback.
Yes.
And
Trey Williams in the
on more than half the plays.
Yeah. Which I think, it's really smart to do that, to get some of these other players in a game like this, so you can see potentially where you would be 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks down the road if, obviously we hope nothing happens, but if there's an injury, who can step up and maybe perform pretty well at that position.
Sherman puts his foot into it from the 40-yard line, and Azarian Sterling's going to let that bounce into the end zone. That'll be a touchback, and the Warriors will have the football 1st down and 10 at the 25-yard line. And once again, Dylan Sherman does his job, no return, and the Cornerstone Christian Warriors start 75 yards from pay dirt with 5:19 to play in the half.
Yeah, great kick. It landed just on the other side of the goal line right there by the pylon and went out. And, we talked about this last year when you and I would do games of how important it is to get that ball out of the end zone. Don't put it in the hand because you got your best runners back there returning the kick. And go, start from the 25 instead of, across midfield like they did on that last kickoff return.
On 1st down, Sam Flores-King will fake the zone read to Azarian Sterling and keep himself. And an odd thing here for us, they put that ball to start at the 20-yard line, not the 25. I guess Cornerstone's playing by some different, or is that in National Federation of High School rules? I'm not sure, but the ball at the 22-yard line after a 2-yard gain by the Warrior quarterback. The clock moving with less than 5 minutes to play in the half. 2nd down and 8 now for Cornerstone. Flores-King has the ball loose on the turf. And it looks like he dove back on top of it just in the nick of time. We'll let the officials sort this out. And it is recovered, but the recovery by Azarian Sterling, the junior running back, diving on that loose football to save possession for the Warriors. But they'll lose 5 yards on the play, bringing up 3rd down and 13.
I mean, just that was Butterfingers from the get-go.
Oh, yeah, that was
2 or 3 times. It's just panic and let me get the ball, and you
was
know where you are
moving
on the
backward.
field, yeah. And all of it, it's all hands on deck trying to get that ball covered.
3rd down and 13 now for the Warriors at their own 17-yard line. Play action. And another sack. 4 men in the backfield for the Parish Panthers, and this time putting his name in the sack column, that's number 85, Caleb Irving. Irving and Kamzi Arinze with the sack back at the 11-yard line, a loss of 6, and it forces 4th down.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, 4 guys in the backfield, big bodies on a bull rush coming in.
I have a suggestion. Wow.
Wow. Here,
Yeah.
you take the ball. I don't want it.
Yeah.
And it goes. I think it kind of goes back. If you're going to throw, you've got to maintain 2 backs in that backfield to help pick up that big Parish rush.
And now
Picked up by number 1.
the Panthers play punt return, allow the kick to go, and Eusebio muffs the punt, but the kick coverage team not there, so Eusebio able to cover up his mistake at midfield. The first minor mistake we've seen by Parish. I mean, he was going to fair catch it anyway at the 47, so it's only a difference of 3 yards in field position. But if you're special teams coordinator Florseca, that's going to be a coachable, teachable moment for Mr. Eusebio on the sideline.
Yes, it will be.
And now,
And uncharacteristic of Eusebio. Sometimes that kind of stuff happens, and just bounce back from it, go back out and do it again.
ball at the midfield stripe, 1st down and 10, Panthers, 3:44 to play in the half. Anderson back to throw. And that pass in between Williams and Crow. Not sure if maybe that was a choice route that Williams and Anderson miscommunicated on, but either way, an incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10.
I think he was trying to go to Trey on that route, and Trey was pretty well defended by the Warrior DB on that, and just didn't quite look right, but I think that's what he was trying to go to.
2nd down and 10 now for the Panthers at midfield. Spread formation, they'll have the quick hitter and the catch made. What a move there. Oh, wow. Had that not been for the trailing Warrior defender, that would have been a touchdown right there for number 13, Braden Fields. A great move, another great cut. And you see Eusebio and the other receivers, it looks like that was one of the focuses this week in practice with those wide receivers, was working on those sharp cuts on those in routes and slant patterns.
Those sharp cuts will get you separation from the defender. If you come and you try and run a lazy route and just curve a cut, it's very easy for the defender to keep up with you.
Anderson going down the middle. Oh! And wide open, the same play that led to the first touchdown of the game for Cedric Mays. This time, Mays unable to find the handle on the football. That'll be 20 push-ups for Mr. Mays. 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get Bryson Fields more involved in terms of catching the football. He's got the fewest catches of say the Big Four, but he's averaging nearly 23 yards a catch when he does. That's a big body out there to get the ball to.
And Anderson on play action on 2nd down and 10.
He was looking for him.
Huge hole. He's going to take off and run. 1st down and more. Sideline at the 10. He's going to try to score.
Ooh.
He dove at the end zone, and he's in
He's
there.
in it. He got it.
They give it to him. Touchdown, Panthers. For the 2nd drive in a row, Sawyer Anderson puts his head down to gain some yardage. The last time he got it to the half-yard line. This time he said, I want the TD, stuck the ball over the goal line. That's a 27-yard touchdown run for Sawyer Anderson.
Yeah, if you remember back when we did the Episcopal game in Houston, I guess the 2nd game of the season, you saw Sawyer during that game really for the first time tuck and start running the football. And I think I called that just a leadership run where the guys see you do that, your offensive linemen, everybody else on the team, they get inspired by it. That's my quarterback going head first for the goal line.
Head first.
Head first for the goal line. He's not sliding. He's not running out of bounds. He's the hammer, not the nail on that play.
Indeed. And he was successful in getting that ball across the goal line. The extra point good by Ryan Schiller. And, folks, your new score with 2:40 remaining before halftime here at Warrior Stadium in San Antonio. It's now your Parish Panthers 28, Cornerstone Christian Warriors 0. And following that punt, the Panthers take over at midfield, and they only need 64 seconds to score their 4th touchdown of the game.
Yeah, they've got their foot on the accelerator. They're tuned up now, taking care of business. It's fun to watch football when Parish is up and running this way. It's a great little offense out there. And on that last play, one of the things I noticed is Maddox Reed had pretty much run a go route downfield. When Sawyer took off running, Maddox was covered, had an opportunity to block his defender, but was smart enough to realize as that defender turned, if he blocked him,
it was going to
be a block in the back.
And
he pulled straight up, smart football.
Right. And all the receivers covered on that play. There was at least a 15-yard gap between the front seven at the line of scrimmage and the defensive backs in the pattern, and that's what gave Anderson all the room he needed for that 27-yard touchdown run.
Will we start to see more Sawyer Anderson running the football on design plays?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. If you're going to test it, now is the time. Azarian Sterling reverses field, and there's some great kick coverage. Making that tackle as he's going by there at the 14-yard line. And that's number 16, Isaiah Johnson. It looked like before the game, Forrest, Isaiah Johnson had his helmet and shoulder pads off. We thought maybe that he was a healthy scratch, or perhaps that arm injury had reared its ugly head. But there's Johnson making a great play on special teams, forcing the Warriors to start deep in their own end with 2:33 to go in the half.
Really great to see him back on the field getting some action since he had that injury in the Episcopal game we were just talking about, I think, in the first half, and has shut him down for many weeks.
Sam Flores-King is still in at quarterback. He's going to fake the handoff and keep himself. And the two people not fooled by that fake were James Cave and Cooper Malin, who make the stop. We'll give Flores-King 2 yards out to the 16-yard line. And great defense there by the Panthers to stay home on the backside of that play and limit Flores-King to a gain of 2.
As soon as Flores-King pulled that ball on that zone read and decided to run it, what I noticed, he had that ball in his left hand way out to his side. Yep. He's not tacking that ball in. That's an opportunity for a Parish defender to get in there and knock that ball out.
2nd down and 8 now for the Warriors. This time a straight handoff to Sterling. He'll elude a tackler in the backfield. And Daniel Demery comes up from his safety position to limit Sterling to a gain of 3 at the 19-yard line. And now 3rd and medium distance for the Warriors with 1:45 to play and the clock running in the first half. And now they will stop time, and Parish will take timeout with 100 seconds to play before halftime. And this is the Panthers' 2nd timeout of the half. I think they want to try to put the ball in the end zone one more time before the horn sounds, ending the second quarter.
I agree. Really think they do as well, which they're certainly going to be capable of, but they've got to get the stop first here.
They've got to get the stop on 3rd down. They have 1 timeout remaining to do that, and that was Novikov running down to call that timeout. So that was a head football coach decision right there to stop the clock with 1:40 to play in the half.
Good decision. Get your guys over, get them some water, make sure everybody understands what, again, if we talked about it countless times, everybody's on the same page, everybody knows where to go. Assignment football, who you covering, who's rushing, and get set up and ready to go and stop them on 3rd down, force the punt, get the ball back with maybe 1:30, minute 20.
Or so.
Yeah. And you've got plenty of time to get that. Well, or try and block the punt again.
Yeah, try. Why not? If it's this deep, try to block the punt again.
You've been in there. You've been in their punting backfield every time.
Already gotten one.
Yeah, you've gotten one, and you've been you got a hand on the one down here on this side
That's
too.
That's true. State, so 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5, and you've been in their backfield every time on that. So.
Oh yeah, even on the last punt, the guys were in the backfield and 3 yards away from the punter. They ball pulled up.
Yeah,
because they were told. Obviously, they were told by Coach Florseca to play punt return. So we'll see what happens here, but business to be had first before we get to that possible 4th down punt. It's now 3rd down. We'll call it a short 5 for the Cornerstone Christian Warriors. The ball right at the 20-yard line with 1:40 to play in the half. They'll put trips to the top of your screen. As Sam Flores-King looks for motion, he's going to pull back and throw, looking for the tight end.
Oh!
Daniel Demery read that from the get-go, and all he saw was blue turf, and he forgot one important thing.
Pull the ball down when you come down.
Oh my goodness, that was even closer than the almost interception that Carter McCray had at midfield earlier in the game.
There was a massive rush by the Parish front four. The walls were closing in. You had to get rid of that football, and Daniel Demery occupying the throwing lane.
And now a fair catch. Demery will take this one, and he'll stop play with 88 seconds to play in the half. And the Panthers have the ball almost exactly where they had it the last time, minus a yard. They're at the Panther 49-yard line with 1:27 to play in the half, and they still have 1 timeout remaining.
Plenty of time to get down the field for this offense.
And Anderson will bring his offensive crew onto the field. And, folks, we want to take a moment while we're got a break in the action here and welcome you into tonight's broadcast here on Game On Sports Network. We thank you for joining us wherever you may be throughout the state, around the country, and across the world, live here on the internet on Game On Sports Network. First down and 10 for Sawyer Anderson and crew. He'll drop back to throw. He's looking for Hutch Crow. And almost, that's a nice defensive play there by number 13 for the Warriors, able to get a hand on that football and knock it away. Otherwise, Crow might still be running.
That was 6 points right there.
That was gone.
That was gone.
So credit number 13, Samuel Draper, with a great defensive play there. And that'll be something that Anderson can work on next week, putting a little bit more arc on that pass.
Draper gets in the throwing lane, gets his arms up, knocks that pass down. Saved a touchdown.
They'll put trips to the top of your screen now on second down and 10 at the Panther 49-yard line. Hutch Crow, the single receiver on the bottom. Anderson, the delay counter handoff. Maddox Reed, big hole. First down and more inside the 40. And a touchdown saving tackle again by number 17, James Wright. That's an 11-yard gain and moves the sticks.
Big 66, Jacob Aquino, the junior offensive lineman, buried his man, freeing him.
Crow now on the stop route. He's got the catch and more. He's going to try to get some extra yards after the catch, and he'll get out of bounds at the 18-yard line. That's going to be a pass play right there of 17 yards. And the last 10 of that was all Hutch Crow against 3 Warrior defenders.
I think there's a little bit of confusion on the Warrior coverage on that side. As I saw 11, the cornerback, he was actually looking towards the middle of the field when Crow caught that ball.
Ball at the 19-yard line with 50 seconds to play in the half, clock running. Anderson back to throw on first and 10. The corner out again. And this time Crow dives for the football. He'll make the catch at the 10-yard line. And that's good for 9. Clock running, 40 seconds. Parish in no hurry here as they have the ball second down and 1 at the Cornerstone 9-yard line. They'll set back up, trips to the top of the screen. Maddox Reed the back on second down and a yard. Anderson's going to roll that way. And the pass complete to Eusebio. Can he get in the end zone? Waiting for a signal, and there it is. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. And Eusebio makes that catch at the 4-yard line, puts his head down, and gets to pay dirt. That's a 9-yard touchdown run for your leading receiver for Parish, Derek Eusebio.
Great job by Eusebio on that route, creating some distance. And you talked about it earlier. Sawyer running out to his left, throwing with his right. Ball is right on target, and Eusebio finds the end zone.
And now Ryan Schiller for the point after. And the lime green shoes continue to do the trick. The extra point is good. And, folks, your score with 24 seconds remaining before halftime here at Warrior Stadium in San Antonio. It's now your Parish Panthers 35, Cornerstone Christian Warriors nothing. And the previous drive, they took 64 seconds. Parish says that's not good enough. We're going to score this time in 60 seconds flat, 35-0 Panthers.
Yeah, we kind of knew that was going to happen, didn't we? If we could hold them on that 3rd and 5, which we did.
We were kind of hoping it would happen.
Well, it seems like now, after that little first series hiccup, where we didn't quite have.
Now we know who we're playing.
Yeah.
Feel them out a little bit.
It just kind of sputtered. Maybe we weren't quite ready. Then all of a sudden, boom, here we are. And it has been game on Game On Sports since that second series.
Ooh, nicely
done.
It's
worked that in there.
Oh, Fred, you owe him 10 for that one. Now, I'll say this. That first series looked like trap game football. And then they came off after that 3 and out, and I don't know who lit a fire under him, but it has been hammered down ever since.
They did.
I would say all gas, no brakes, but I believe that phrase is copyrighted by somebody else. Although he would do good to watch this game and maybe get a few pointers before tomorrow's game against Iowa State.
Yeah, a 5 hour. Oh, here's a little pooch kick.
Pooch kick.
Oh, get the ball.
Live football.
Oh.
Let's see. I think that's going to be number 1, Jalen Morgan, covering that up. But they were not expecting Dylan Sherman to pooch kick that. And why not with 24 seconds to play?
Boy, and he dropped that in no man's land right
there.
Perfect. But behind the first line, in front of the second line, it just kind of drops in. And the Parish kickoff cover guys were full speed down there.
Just half a second away from getting that one.
Yeah.
And now we'll see what the Warriors choose to do with 24 seconds to play before halftime. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining as Sam Flores King brings his squad onto the field. 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Flores King takes the ball. He's going to hand it off to Azarian Sterling. and Sterling just falls down.
Well, he had Cooper Malin coming in untouched into the backfield. He wasn't going to get very far anyway.
We've got a penalty flag coming in from the head linesman, and his preliminary indication is offside against Parish, and that is indeed the call. I think James Cave may have lined up in the neutral zone, and this will be a free play for the Warriors. They'll get 1st and 5, now out at their own 38.
Take a shot downfield.
I would.
Take a shot. You got nothing to lose.
Worst
You're down by
scenario,
35 with 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he gets intercepted, it's the same as a punt.
Right.
But give yourself a chance here to get something on the scoreboard before halftime.
Flores King shifting the formation. They'll move to a bunch on the bottom side with a wingback. 21 seconds to play in the half. 1st down and 5. Azarian Sterling, a nice spin move at the 40-yard line. And the junior running back for Cornerstone Christian able to gain 7 on the play and move the sticks. And Sterling, he's got some nice moves there, putting that spin move on Seth Scott and gaining 7.
He does that, yeah. Trey Williams was there, too, and about to wrap him up, and he just spun out of that.
And, folks, that's the horn sounding, bringing us to halftime. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the first half of play here at Warrior Stadium in the Alamo City as Parish is on the road in Week 8 of the 2022 Panther season. And, folks, your score as we go to the halftime break here in San Antonio, it's been all Parish in the second quarter. Your score, your Parish Panthers 35, Cornerstone Christian Warriors nothing. And, Forrest, at the end of the first quarter, as Parish was still finding their feet and finding their way after that first 3 and out, the end of the first quarter, 7-0 Panthers. In the second quarter, that was an offensive display by Parish as they put 28 points on the board in just 12 minutes' time.
Yes, and it's easy to do when you have drives starting at your own 48, your own 50. We were down 12 down here.
Plus 12.
Yeah, plus it's makes when you don't have to go 75 or 80 yards, it makes your drives a little more efficient like that, and you a lot more productive. Less things can happen when you go 50 yards versus 75 or 80 yards.
Do give them credit for that one drive of 71 yards.
Yeah.
So the 4 touchdown drives in that second quarter, they had a touchdown drive of 79 yards, a touchdown drive of 12 yards, and then 50 yards and 49 yards to make it 35-0 here at halftime. And, folks, our halftime tonight is brought to you by Dr. Richard Rhodes of Baylor Scott and White Orthopedic Associates of Dallas. Folks, Parish Episcopal School wishes to thank our halftime sponsor, Dr. Richard Rhodes of Baylor Scott and White Orthopedic Associates of Dallas, for his continued support and dedication to the Parish athletic program and its student athletes. And Forrest, your thoughts as we go to halftime here after the first 24 minutes are in the books and the Panthers up 35-0.
Doing the job that they need to do. Ride 300 miles, 5 hours, get off the bus. Like I talked about earlier, that little stutter right there on the first series. After that, it's been great. Defense has picked up. All three phases of the game have been very good for Parish so far. And I think the Parish football fan in me wanted it, to be this. It's kind of where I thought it was going to be.
Right.
So I'm happy with the way things look. I'm really impressed with Sawyer Anderson and his desire to lead that team by tucking that football and running.
Right. Well, 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 touchdown passes for Sawyer Anderson in that first half, and he's responsible for 3 of them as he threw 2 and rushed for 1 himself.
Yeah, and I'm getting a couple of text messages from Parish fans saying, "Tell Sawyer to get out of bounds." And I don't think that's in his DNA to get out of bounds. As competitive as he is.
To quote a saying from one of the famous radio stations in Dallas-Fort Worth, good luck with all of that.
Yeah, good luck with all that.
If you can try and talk that 15-year-old kid into going out of bounds, then I will buy you a steak dinner.
And I love that in a quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
I love what it says about the quarterback. I love what it shows to the rest of the offense and the rest of the team.
The whole team feeds off of it.
It translates to other players on there. In the way they perform. So, yes, would I like to see Sawyer slide and gently tiptoe out of bounds? Yeah. I also like to see him go headfirst into the end zone.
Well, I mean, if that contact is coming at, say, the 10-yard line, that's exactly what he's going to do.
But, no, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, I could see that more happening. But, I mean, when the first contact he has with a Warrior player is at the 1.5-yard line, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, all in all, for the first half, my takeaways are 35 points. You got ungrouped, you got unpacked, you got running up, and it got that machine really cranked up. Minimal penalties, no
Just
personal
one as far-
fouls.
well,
With the
one personal foul.
That was, and then only one turnover,
Yes.
and no injuries.
That's the most important thing.
Well, thankfully Eusebio got up after he got face mask, came back into the game.
Yes.
And that is a huge deal, I think, in a game like this, is to get out of here without any injuries.
No, that's the most important thing, is to get everybody back on the bus in the same state
Yeah.
of readiness that they were when they got off the bus at 5:30 this afternoon. Well, folks, that's going to take us here to the halftime break. We're going to step aside for Cornerstone senior night ceremonies and the Parish Panther halftime coming up. So, folks, stay with us as you enjoy halftime, courtesy of Dr. Richard Rhodes of Baylor Scott and White Orthopedic Associates. Your score at halftime, your Parish Panthers 35, San Antonio Cornerstone Christian Warriors nothing. Forrest and I will see you back right before the second half of play. Stay with us here on Game On Sports.
Kinsey Gradillo. Our next band senior is Caitlin Johnson. Caitlin is accompanied by her mother, Miss Magnolia Boyce. Caitlin has been a member of the National Honor Society, the SHS, the Student Government, Women in Science, and the All-State Region Choir. When Caitlin graduates, she plans to become an attorney. Caitlin's favorite memories at Cornerstone would be her 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C., being the junior class chaplain, band trips with the color guard, and enjoying football games. Her favorite Bible verse is in Ezekiel 36:26. A new heart I will give you, and a new spirit I will put within you. I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. Miss Caitlin Johnson. Our next band senior is Gavin Minion. Gavin is accompanied by his parents, Chris Minion and Cecilia Minion, and his sister, Sydney. He's been a member of the golf team and the student council. When he graduates, he plans to become a computer science engineer. His favorite memory at Cornerstone would be spending time with all his friends over the years. For a favorite Bible verse, he says this, I just love the whole Bible. Gavin Minion. Our next senior is our drum major, Kyle Chastain. Kyle is accompanied by his father, Elijah Chastain, and his mother, Stephanie Chastain. He's been a member of the National Honor Society, the Spanish Honor Society, the Science Honor Society, Student Government, Varsity Soccer, Athletic Training, and the Warrior Band. When he graduates, he plans to major in biochemistry and become a nuclear medicine physician. His favorite memory at Cornerstone was late night Bucky's band invasion. His favorite Bible verse is found in 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 6 and 7. Kyle Chastain. And our final band senior honoree is Marcos Emmanuel Gutierrez. Marcos is accompanied by his mother, Joanne Gutierrez. Marcos has been a member of the band, the robotics team, the golf team, tennis, and the esports program. When he graduates, Marcos plans to become a software engineer. His favorite memory at Cornerstone so far would be the overnight stays during golf tournaments. It's always great to bond with teammates and family. His favorite Bible verse is found in Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but to the interests of others. Marcos Emmanuel Gutierrez. Ladies and gentlemen, can you show appreciation for all of our 22-23 band seniors? And now, the Warrior Band will take the field to do their 2022 marching show, Opus.
No, I mean, yeah, every night, you know, yeah. So then we came in after 10 days and said, how much is in our account? Well, we were talking about a buddy of my son that they've been dealing with since they were kids. And he was telling me a story about his best friend in Las Vegas. That his best friend and his dad had won the lottery for his license. Oh, wow. And so they won the license his dad.
Tonight, we welcome to the field our award-winning Cornerstone Warrior Marching Band. The Warrior Band is under the field direction of drum majors Kyle Chastain and Miles Godfrey. Color guard officers are Captain Mia Rodriguez and co-captain Abigail Pena. Color guard member of the week is Caitlin Johnson. The section of the week is the entire band. Our band parent of the week is Miss Michelle Carrasco. Thank you for all your help.
Hungry? Yeah. So we went to Nacho Daddy and tore that place. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've never been to Nacho Daddy in Vegas. I haven't. Oh, my God. Yeah. It's been a minute since I've been to Vegas. Yeah. So Nacho Daddy is one of my favorite places to go. They've got one downtown and they've got one on the strip. Yeah, and it's like seven of the grind nachos, different profiles, protein, and they've got enchiladas, they've got breakfast. I mean, imagine filet mignon nachos. Yeah, I'll have some. Yeah, my favorite one is one because they're a partner with Vegas Golden Knights, and they call them the Vegas Golden Knight nachos. It's filet mignon, roasted red pepper, nacho beans, pico de gallo, guacamole, the sour cream, and it's like $24, but it's this giant slab. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely plenty for 2 weeks. You're not going to be hungry. Oh, yeah. Their breakfast is long, too. You know, my favorite thing for breakfast is they call them bacon, egg, and cheese enchiladas. So it's bacon bits and cheese rolled up in the corn tortilla and then topped with 2 eggs your way. And then potatoes and beans. And 2 it is. So that sounds good. Oh, I got to run now. That's why I don't weigh up here.
The Warrior Band will now perform a portion of their 2022 contest show entitled Opus, featuring the music of Beethoven, Mozart, Tchaikovsky, and Bizet. Flute soloists are Sofia de la Garza and Gianna Brin. Clarinet soloist is Emma Saunier. French horn soloist, Ethan Barnes. Alto saxophone, Joshua Nasto. Tenor saxophone, Caleb Byers and Joshua Mills. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy the sights and sounds of the one and only, always imitated but never duplicated, San Antonio's original Cornerstone, the internationally known CCS Warrior Marching Band. Warrior Band directors are Gaspar Garcia and Gabriel Aguilar. We'd like to recognize our Cornerstone administration, head of schools, Dr. Chris Royal, our Director of Academic and Administrative Operations, Mr. Peter Warren, our high school principal, Mr. Darrell Pankratz, assisted by Mr. Jason Driver, our middle school principal, Miss Nydia Weber, assisted by Dr. Jaime Diaz-Real. Thank you to all our band parents and all of the countless Warrior Band fans everywhere for your continuous support and dedication to the Warrior Band.
We're ready when you are. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Alamo City. Brian Shackelford here alongside Forrest Baldwin on the campus of Cornerstone Christian Academy here on the northwest side of San Antonio. And folks, we welcome you into Warrior Stadium for second half action here in week 8 of the 2022 Parish Panther season. And if you're just joining us, folks, your score as we're beginning the third quarter of play here at Warrior Stadium. It's very much reminiscent of the game last week against Bishop Lynch. Your Parish Panthers lead 35-0 over Cornerstone Christian. And Forrest, a little bit of a halting first quarter for the Panthers, but they seemed to get things together and just took over in the second quarter, scoring 28 unanswered points. And now they lead 35-0 as we're set to kick off the second half.
Yeah, they ramped up their offense very, very quickly. And like we talked about prior to halftime, after that first series. And firing on all cylinders, really, after that. Defense stepping up. That pass rush, I know we talk a lot about the offense, but that pass rush
let's talk about the defense.
Is brutal.
Tonight.
Brutal.
The defense has not that the defense has been bad, mind you.
No.
I mean, I will honestly say the defense has been the most consistent unit this season. And it started good, and it has gotten better and better and better each week. And the pass rush tonight in the first half was just phenomenal. They've had 3 sacks, several quarterback pressures, 2 forced fumbles. They didn't recover either one of them, but the front 4 is all over the Cornerstone quarterback, Sam Flores-King, tonight. Yeah,
that defense only giving up 102 total points so far this year. That's 17 points per game that they're giving up. That's good for 4th in the Metroplex among private schools. And the other thing we've seen tonight, in addition to everything you just stated, is we've seen some really good open field tackling.
Yes, we've seen good open field tackling, and we've seen excellent secondary blocking by the backs and receivers, blocking for each other to extend plays, get first downs, and get Panthers in the end zone. As Dylan Sherman is set to kick it away to begin the third quarter here on Game On Sports. Your Panthers will move from right to left on your television screen. That's going to be Azarian Sterling bringing the ball out 2 yards deep. He finds another seam like he did in the second quarter. But this time there to make the stop for the Panthers, D.C. Crane on special teams. He brings Sterling down at the 31-yard line. And, Forrest, there's a young man right there that is having a fantastic game tonight in number 4, D.C. Crane.
Yeah, D.C. Crane on that special teams kickoff coverage. He is kind of a safety that hangs back strictly from monitoring what's happening in front of him.
Kind of a spy.
For a situation exactly like that.
Yeah.
And we talked about making good open field tackles. There's an open field tackle on special teams to save.
First down and 10 at the 32-yard line. They'll try the screen pass to the far side.
And Walker Anderson just got blocked in the back and thrown about 5 yards upfield on that penalty marker on the far side.
Yeah, penalty marker on the far side, and they've got it right there. Well, actually, they're going to call holding, but I think the more appropriate penalty was illegal block in the back. But that pass complete to the big senior tight end, Christoph Seneca, a 6'5", 225-pound tight end. That is a large, imposing figure, especially if you're having to go up against the 5'10", 165-pound frame of Walker Anderson.
And I am a big fan of the tight end. Now, you look at Kelsey the other night in Kansas City. We talked about Jason Witten earlier tonight.
Yep, a young man that's acquitting himself pretty well in his second season coaching Argyle.
Boy, yeah, he's got those Warriors ready to play football this year, going into year 2 of his term there.
Sam Flores-King fakes the zone read. He'll keep it.
But that big target, you've got an offensive lineman, essentially, that can run fast and catch a football. That makes a great target for the quarterback. And it's not just another player out on the field. It's actually somebody that can run a route and you can get the ball to.
Yeah, no, if you're a fantasy football player and you had Travis Kelce on your roster and you lost this last week, that means the rest of your players didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because Kelce had a fantastic night Monday night with 4 touchdowns. Flores-King handing off here on second down and 15. And some confusion in the backfield. Or actually, I think that was the running back Azarian Sterling being spun around by a defender. I believe that was Ian Ussery with the initial hit in the backfield, and then Seth Scott makes the tackle at the 32-yard line. And that brings up 3rd down and 10 for Parish. And once again, the Parish defense doing their job as they force 3rd and long on the Warriors.
Yeah, Ian Ussery, great player over the years for Parish, coming up through the system. I coached him in middle school football. Spectacular young man, went from linebacker to nose guard, and he's playing it. Sometimes he'll play up as a stand-up nose guard and just create havoc.
3rd down and 10, and Crane was coming on the rush, and immediately the head coach, John Bachman, calls timeout because D.C. Crane took off right in front of him, and he called timeout before Crane could get to his quarterback.
How can you –
D.C. Crane completely responsible for this timeout being called by Cornerstone Christian.
He saw – well, the line of scrimmage was about where Coach Bachman was, and he saw D.C., I guess, kind of turn and angle. And before that snap, he's like, no, we're not doing this.
No, he took 2 steps. And right before, Crane was already 2 steps in.
Oh, he was already going before the snap. Okay.
He had already timed it. And Coach Bachman's like, no, timeout.
We're not going to do this.
Because Crane's already got – I was talking about it earlier. Crane's had a fantastic game. He had that tackle on special teams.
Yeah.
He's got a sack. He's got a forced fumble. He almost had an interception in the second quarter. Crane is playing lights out here for this Panther defense.
Good for him.
For him. No, exactly. The sophomore, just a sophomore, but he is making his presence known on the field tonight. And I think this is going to give the Warriors something to think about as they have to figure out where number 4 and White is going to be every snap of the football.
I like that name, too. D.C. Crane.
Yeah, I'd like to find out what that stands for. We'll have to see if we can.
It sounds like a football player.
Doesn't it?
D.C. Crane.
There we go.
Good for him having a great night.
Following the timeout, 2 timeouts remaining for the Warriors. They've got 3rd and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Sam Flores-King will bring the tight end in motion. That's Christoph Seneca. Now, false start is going to cost the Warriors 5 more.
Yeah, Cooper Malin was lining up at that stand-up defensive end. He was getting ready to go in on that big bull rush, and it just – I'd flinch too. Everybody's – they're coming on the offensive line, and he seconds.
Yeah, so far Will Galusha has called an excellent game defensively, and he hasn't missed a call yet as far as having his team in the wrong position. Now it's 3rd and 15 for the Warriors back at the 27-yard line as Seneca takes a fullback position in front of the quarterback, Flores-King. Play action as Flores-King will throw, and that pass over the head of the intended receiver, Carson Solis. That's the first time we've called his name tonight. Well, actually the second time. That's only his second target of the night. Both passes incomplete, and this one brings up 4th down for Cornerstone Christian.
Yeah, and Carson Solis was one of the players that Coach Bachman told us to look for. We mentioned earlier having that big game in Tennessee with 9 catches for 135 yards in the second half. Been basically shut down today. And Parish on that last play, with a 3rd and 15, they were playing 3 deep zone on that, and just nothing happening for him.
The punt away. And this will be a fair catch taken by Eusebio, and he muffs the ball again. Eusebio gets it back. That's the second time that Eusebio has muffed a fair catch.
Yeah, really.
In this game.
Uncharacteristic of Eusebio. And that ball was not an easy catch the way it came off the punter's foot. Kind of an oblong, sideways, dead duck, rapidly spinning thing as it dropped down into his hands. Not that nice hot spiral that you expect to see.
Well, we're starting to get a little bit of wind here coming from the south this evening, blowing on our backs, blowing across the field from the bottom of the screen to the top of your screen. This is an east-west field here at Warrior Stadium. Parish now has the football, 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Anderson to throw on 1st down. Hutch Crow, a great catch. And Anderson put that ball exactly where he wanted it, just about half a yard out in front of Crow to make the catch. And Crow with a 10-yard gain to move the sticks for Parish.
He fired a laser, didn't he?
That had some mustard on it.
That had some zip on it. Just a little 3-step drop, knew exactly where he was going to hit the slant to Crow. And Crow with a great catch extending
great
out
hands.
there. Yeah, on a very hard-thrown football.
No, the post patterns and the inside slants have been there all night for the Panthers. We'll see if that continues. Now, 1st and 10, Parish at the Cornerstone 46. This will be a stretch play as Cedric Mays will cut back against the grain and get about 7 yards.
No. Maddox down.
And Maddox Reed in pain down here at the, well, what?
He was the lead blocker on that play as Parish went with 2 running backs. And he went in there hard and hit a block, and
then pops up and runs.
Popped up and ended 15 yards from the line.
He's favoring I'm not sure if he's favoring his left wrist or his right knee. He's holding them one against the other, bending over on the sideline. I'm sure the medical personnel will check on that. We'll see.
For sure, and D.C. Crane comes in.
D.C. Crane now at running back. He's going to get to make his mark on offense in this game. On 2nd down, 4 yards to go for the Panthers at the Warrior 40-yard line. Clock running with just over 8 minutes to play in the third. Anderson, he's going to go for the out route this time. Crow wide open. 10-yard line, 5. Oh, and just knocked out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Saving the touchdown for Cornerstone Christian. That's number 11, Carter McCray. A great pattern by Crow. This time he cuts it to the outside. Anderson puts the ball over the outside shoulder, and that's a pass play good for 32 yards, 1st and goal.
And you know who made that play happen? D.C. Crane.
Yep.
Came in, 4 Maddox, lined up at the back position. He picked up
the blitzer.
Blitz coming in, chopped him down. That gave literally Sawyer the perfect view to hit Hutch on that play.
Now 1st and goal, Panthers just inside the Warrior 10-yard line. He's going to go across the middle. There's the slant pattern again. Cedric Mays has the catch. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. 2 receiving touchdowns now for Cedric Mays on the evening.
They can't cover that slant. They're just too fast.
They can't stop it.
They can't stop it. No.
They're moving the middle. The middle linebacker is moving forward, and when Sawyer Anderson calls out the mic is coming forward.
Yeah.
And then these guys in the slot are just filling the hole left by the mic.
Freeze them on that play action and zip it to that inside slant route. Nicely done.
Ryan Schiller with the extra point. It splits the uprights. The extra point good. And folks, your score was 7:53 remaining here in quarter number 3 at Warrior Stadium. It's now your Parish Panthers 42. Cornerstone Christian Warriors 0. And that is an opening touchdown drive for Parish to put 7 more points on the board here with just under 8 minutes to play in the third.
Yeah, good defensive series starting out. Yeah, then get the offense on the field. Not really much to complain about on offensively in that series.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured, now you're at 42. My understanding is we're not going to have a running clock tonight because they don't participate in taps, so we won't have a running clock.
Well, it sounds like that's not going to be an automatic rule, but I'm sure
if
they do it like UIL, there's coaches' agreement.
Yeah, they may agree to do it. But what I wanted Parish to do is come out and score, maybe at least get 1, maybe 2 series in with the starters, and then let's start subbing guys out.
And this looks like some different folks in on the kick team for the Panthers. Dylan Sherman, the kicker, as Azarian Sterling waits deep for Cornerstone Christian alongside Troy Tomaselli. And a pooch kick angled toward the sideline. Oh, it checks up in bounds at the 23-yard line. With the return, number 2, Izzy Gonzalez. And he'll be tackled right there. Bryson Blackmore makes the stop on special teams for Parish. 1st down and 10 for the Warriors at the 23-yard line. And Dylan Sherman just continues to amaze on kickoffs for the Panthers. I mean, that one, he just dropped it right in, and it just checked up and sat down.
It was
like
a nice,
Tiger Woods chip shot.
I was going to say, like a nice lob wedge into the green. Indeed. Where it hits, it checks, and rolls back. Also, 77 Griffin Chambers on there as well with the tackle, special teams tackles. We're starting to see some wholesale changes now.
Yeah, the second team defense in now on 1st and 10 for Cornerstone Christian. The ball handoff, Azarian Sterling. He'll take it over right tackle for about 2 yards. With the stop, number 60, Austin McLean, the junior, now in at defensive end, subbing out Caleb Irving.
Yeah, everybody across, it looks like, at the linebacker position, across the entire front 7 getting changed out, and now into the secondary. Now, see Isaiah Thomas in, Conrad Binkley in, Guy Stern.
The only 2 remaining are that's Daniel Boren. So the only player in the game from the first string is still D.C. Crane. 2nd down and 5 is Sterling straight ahead.
Woo!
And what a hit by D.C. Crane to put Azarian Sterling head over tea kettle.
Wow.
But
he
Sterling
holds
onto the football and gets a 1st down for Cornerstone Christian.
Yeah, D.C. Crane flew in there, went right at his legs, chopped him out from underneath him.
A full somersault by Azarian Sterling.
Yes, sir.
Fresh set of downs for the Warriors. They continue 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Clock moving with less than 7 minutes to play in the third. 42-0 in favor of Parish. Sam Flores King keeps. He's going to cut it to the outside. And there's D.C. Crane making another tackle for the Panthers. And that one could have saved a big gain.
That did save
a big gain, if not a touchdown.
That did save a huge gain because outside of D.C. Crane on the far side, there was not much left there.
No, the only thing remaining over there was the sideline.
Yeah.
And that's a 13-yard gain, another 1st and 10, as Cornerstone Christian starting to move the football against the second unit for Parish, as we have 6:29 remaining here in the third quarter. And the Warriors on the move, 1st and 10 now at their own 47. Isaiah Johnson and number 87, Thomas Boren, rather. I said Daniel earlier, my apologies. The handoff once again. This is going to be a steady diet of number 5, Azarian Sterling, as the Warriors are going to ask the junior running back to earn his keep tonight. That's 4 carries on 5 plays on this drive for the running back for Cornerstone Christian.
18, Ty Whitty there on the stop. That's a man of size as well, a junior defensive end for the Panthers. Kid we coached in middle school football, great young man, great player. And he's had been slowed by injuries so far this year. It's great to see him back in getting some action.
Sterling again on 2nd down and 6. The initial hit at the line of scrimmage. And that right there held up by number 44, Conrad Binkley. And spun down, and look who's got the tackle. Number 4,
D.C. Crane.
Yes. If that man now tonight,
he's having fun out there, isn't he?
I'm saying tonight's one of the nights I wish we had a sideline reporter, because that young man has definitely earned himself 3 questions after the game.
He is having fun.
And that's what this is all about. A 2-yard gain there, but Conrad Binkley with that initial hit to tee things up for Crane. And following the 2-yard gain by Sterling, it's now 3rd down and 8. And we'll see if the second unit can get a stop here with 5 minutes to play in the third quarter, clock running.
They are, after the first couple of plays, they've found their footing now, haven't they?
It looks like they have. The snap back to Sam Flores King. He's going to roll to the near side. And the pass. Nice footwork there on the sideline by number 2, Izzy Gonzalez. And he makes the catch. It's a gain of 8 that moves the sticks.
Great catch by Gonzalez.
Great
doing
footwork.
that footwork right there at the sideline, just leaning forward, making the catch, making sure his feet's in, then falling over.
And Izzy Gonzalez will move the sticks. I think that is only the second first down of the game for Cornerstone Christian this evening. They had one early in the first quarter as they moved the ball on their first drive of the game, but since then it's been mostly 3 and out. Now 1st and 10 Warriors at the Panther 41. And once again, the delay handoff to Azarian, this time in the game for Cornerstone Christian. That's number 6 with the carry, Joshua Cervantes. He'll spell Sterling and get a gain of 1.
Austin McLean from his nose guard position making that tackle. Also at linebacker, the senior 45, Hank Emmerman, stepping up and helping bring him down.
Yeah, McLean, an imposing figure that Cervantes could not get around. A 1-yard gain makes it 2nd down and 9. Flores King once again to Cervantes. And almost a tackle in the backfield. Diving in there. I believe that's number 83. Well, the jersey's wrinkled up a little bit.
Is that 83 or 89?
23.
I want to get it right.
No, it's 23.
It's 23.
That's Cole Polka.
Oh, Cole. Great job, Ed. Cole.
He almost had Cervantes for a 4-yard loss. But
Cole got up, and he couldn't believe that he did not have that 4-yard loss right there.
Well, give Cervantes credit. He gained 6 yards on the play. It's now 3rd and 4 for Cornerstone Christian as the clock winds down to 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. They'll put 3 receivers on the top of your screen as Flores King gets the snap. He's going to roll. He's going to take off and run. And now Cole Polka gets a tackle at the 29-yard line along with Ty Whitty. But that will move the sticks again. Some effective offense here for Cornerstone Christian. They're moving the football here late in the third quarter.
Great coverage downfield by the Parish secondary. He had nowhere to throw through.
No, he had to take off and run.
He had to run. And you get those, it's just part of football. You get those lanes that open up due to the pass rush. Pick your lane and go.
And Cole Polka gets his man this time as he and Whitty make the stop at the 29, but it's a fresh set of downs for the Warriors. They face 1st and 10 now at the Panther 29. Cervantes still the running back. Play action. Polka trying to get. And now there's Caden Solis, or Carson Solis rather, And that's why they said he was a player to watch. He gets away from the first tackle, and D.C. Crane saves the touchdown for the moment at the 1-yard line. But as we move under 2 minutes to play in the third, it's first down and goal for Cornerstone Christian.
Yeah, we got an injured Panther down, yeah.
We've got a Panther down, an injury timeout on the field.
It looks like maybe 87, Thomas Boren.
And he'll be checked on by the medical staff. Clock stopped with 1:56 remaining in our third quarter.
As, Cole Polka once again on that play was in the backfield, just shy of bringing the QB down, but he had a big rush getting back there.
And once again, D.C. Crane with another big play, giving the Panthers an opportunity to shore up the defense. And Thomas Bourne is the player shaken up, but he'll make his way back to the Panther bench under his own power. We hope he comes back quickly.
Yeah, good to see him walking off on his own power.
And checking in for Bourne will be number 82, Ben Goldstein. Goldstein and Isaiah Johnson, your cornerbacks now, as the Warriors will have the ball first and goal at the Panther 1-yard line, and the clock put in motion with 1:53 to play in the third quarter. Cornerstone threatening here late in the third. Seneca, the tight end, moves to the opposite side. They'll bunch in the formation, and the handoff to Cervantes, and he's into the end zone. A touchdown for Cornerstone Christian. And give all the effort there to number 44, Conrad Binkley, as he tried to bring Cervantes down. But the momentum from Cervantes took him into the end zone, and Cornerstone on the board here as the clock is now running steadily with 80 seconds to play in the third.
Yeah, I think they've come to an agreement about the running clock now, it looks like.
And now on to attempt the extra point. Cornerstone Christian, Flores King will hold as the kick is good with the extra point. That is number 19, Trenton Miller. And, folks, your new score with less than a minute remaining in our third quarter here at Warrior Stadium in San Antonio. It's now your Parish Panthers 42, Cornerstone Christian Warriors 7. And, Forrest, no fault there on the Panthers' second unit defense because, okay, they gave up a touchdown, but it took every bit of 8 minutes of clock time for the Warriors to score against the second unit.
And
they earned it.
They did earn it. It was not an easy march down the field. It took some effort, and there were some hard hits by that second-team defense out there.
And it appears maybe the extra point was no good. I thought it was good.
Not.
But they show the score is 42-6. So my apologies, ladies and gentlemen, as it appears that Trenton Miller missed the extra point wide left. And it looks like the final seconds will tick down here on quarter number 3 before the Warriors can get the kick away. As Troy Tomaselli gets set to kick. But the horn sounds ending our third quarter of play. And, folks, we've got 3 quarters in the books here this evening at Warrior Stadium in San Antonio, Texas, as we close out Week 8 action in the 2022 Panther season. And, ladies and gentlemen, your score as we head to the fourth quarter. Here in San Antonio, Texas, it's your Parish Panthers 42, Cornerstone Christian Warriors 7. And Forrest, the first team comes out, does what they need to do with their first drive of the game. They go down and score, make it 42-0. And now Coach Novikov putting in the second unit much in the same fashion that he did last week against Bishop Lynch. Just as you said, to see what he's got on his second and third stringers, because they've got a big game in 3 weeks against Prestonwood Christian, and every one of these young men need to be ready.
They do. I can remember my junior year, we didn't get out there to play unless we were up by 42 points, right? And you take a lot of pride as when you get in the game. You better get on that ball.
And there's a mistake by Daniel Demery. He's going to pick it up and run. Oh, he gets away from a tackle. And now the kick team converges for Cornerstone Christian at the 15-yard line. And that is the problem when you play a sport with a prolate spheroid.
A what?
That's the shape of the football, a prolate spheroid. He thought that was just going to roll right into the end zone, but that thing checked up and died at the 4-yard line. And Daniel Demery runs back there to pick it up and at least get something on the kick return.
Take that ball, it is football. It just takes crazy bounces. Whatever your prolate, oblong, spherical device thingy ball does, it just goes crazy, everyone. It's got a mind of its own.
It does. It's an odd shape.
It's got a mind of its own. Okay, who we got in it? We got the Drew.
That's Drew
Burton show now.
The Drew Burton show is back on the field, much like in the second half of last week. Burton's going to hand off 2 backs in the backfield. And with the carry out to the 18-yard line.
Todd Sedbury, 35.
That's number 35, Todd Sedbury. With the tackle for Cornerstone Christian, that'll be number 9, Lincoln Filiaw. As it looks like Coach Bachman is also getting his second stringers in there. The clock now in full running mode as we move under 10 minutes remaining in the ball game, and the Panthers up by 36.
And, Drew Burton, a true freshman. Well, it's a true freshman. There are always true freshmen in high school. Yeah, duh. But, getting another week of valuable experience.
Very valuable experience.
Oh, ball.
Boy. Ball on the ground.
Ball is on the ground.
And this looks like it may belong, and it does. It belongs to Cornerstone Christian. Burton miscommunicates on the handoff with the running back. And now Cornerstone Christian takes over 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. But your first instinct, you want to get upset, but you can't really, because this is why you have these young men out here, so you can learn from these mistakes in real game-time conditions.
How many reps did the second-team offense get this week? We don't know the answer to that.
No.
They may not have gotten a lot of reps.
They got 25 reps last Friday night.
Yeah.
Those were critical.
Yeah. So you're going to have these kind of mistakes. I can tell you again, offensively, defensively, second, third teamers, they take a tremendous amount of pride in going out there and doing their job. And I know the defense hated to give it up. Here we go.
And just like that, the sack by, I believe that's number 50 with the sack. That's Landry Sattler.
Yeah,
with the sack on the starting quarterback, Sam Flores-King, the sophomore, getting his name on the stat board tonight.
Great.
Loss of 4.
Yeah, offensively, they take pride. They don't want that turnover to happen. They want to take the ball down the field. Defensively, they don't want to allow that score. So it just bugs you, I think, as a football player when you get a chance that something like that happens. Next time out, you want to do everything you can to make it right for your teammates.
Well, this will be an opportunity here as Coach Galusha's crew will bow their backs on 2nd down and 14. Flores-King is going to keep that ball, and he's going to gain a couple of yards. Stopped by number 45, Hank Emmerman. And Emmerman, along with Cole Polka, make the tackle. And we'll call it a gain of 6 inside the 15, bringing up 3rd down and 8. But this defense wants to keep the Warriors out of the end zone.
They've seen enough. Yeah, you can tell now. They've dialed it up, and Warriors are in 4-down territory. So
absolutely.
They will get plenty of opportunity coming up here to keep those Warriors out of the end zone.
Cervantes remains the back on 3rd down and 8. Flores-King is going to keep and take off up the middle. And there's another tackle for the new middle linebacker, number 45, Hank Emmerman. Emmerman getting his share of work with Cole Polka. And now this is – it's kind of tough to say with a 42-6 lead, but I'm going to say it for the second team because for them it is a critical 4th down.
It is a critical 4th down.
They want this stop.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
And not so much for anybody else, but for themselves.
For themselves. And, when they make the stop, they go to the sideline. The first teamers are high-fiving them, hugging them. Way to go, guys.
Those are their 11 biggest fans on that north sideline
those
right
11
now.
Defensive starters are the ones that are cheering the hardest right now for the second team.
4th down and a long 6 for Cornerstone at the 12-yard line. Flores-King is going to throw in the end zone for Solis.
Oh!
Knocked away! What a fantastic play! And guess who it is, folks?
D.C. Crane. And like we said, look who's coming down the sideline now.
The whole first team.
Right there. High fives, jumping up and down.
Oh, cue the ESPN
Woo!
music. Did-a-did. Yeah, that right there. That should be number 11 in tonight's top 10.
Boy, what an athletic play by D.C. Crane, because I thought there from the angle we had on it, I thought there was plenty of separation there.
Yeah, no, that
plenty
was
of
full
separation.
Extension to high point that ball.
Oh, wow.
Full marks there to D.C. Crane to knock that ball away in the back of the end zone. And now Drew Burton with a fresh set of downs. And I believe this offensive unit will have a little bit of a burr under their saddle.
Mm-hmm.
They want to atone for that mistake earlier as the clock moves past the midway point of this 4th quarter. Less than 6 minutes to play. Still Parish 42, Cornerstone 6. Burton with a secure handoff to number 35. With the carry, Todd Sedbury, and the sophomore is going to gain 2 on the play out to the 15-yard line. With the tackle for Cornerstone, that's going to be number 78, Joshua
it was so fun. I mean, it's so fun to
watch,
see
isn't
the
it?
young guys get in. They're making memories. They're getting experience, and you make that big stop after the turnover, and you get to the sideline, like you said, all there's high-fiving you. They're doing the whole deal. So just really, really cool feeling.
And on second
That
down,
Friday
it's
night
going to be
magic.
2nd and 8. Burton going to throw. What a pass right there. A great catch on the near sideline by number 17, Colgan Pettit. And Burton had some heat on that play.
He did.
On that ball. That's 15 yards and a first down.
I think he was 8 of 9 last week.
And the one was a drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, very effective and very accurate passing by Mr. Burton. And as Jim Dixon and I were commenting last week, I like how Burton's wearing a number up in the 20s.
Doug Flutie.
Well,
or was Flutie 22?
Flutie was 22. It takes me back to the 60s Chargers when John Hadel was the quarterback.
You mentioned that last week. Yeah, and I heard that in my ear, and I was like, man, that is old school football.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and now that pass just a little bit too far out in front of number 86, Mercer McDougal. But McDougal doing the smart thing and getting a paw on that football and knocking it down.
Yeah, and McDougal came alive as they got some playing time with a touchdown against Bishop Lynch last week, the junior wide receiver. That's a name I like too, Mercer McDougal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that is a football name.
Exactly. He keeps his nose clean and gets himself a scholarship to a good university. That has name, image, and likeness written all over it. So, Mr. and Mrs. McDougal, give me a call. We'll represent him.
And you got the big sophomore left tackle in now, 72, Quan Byers.
Oh, yes, the big man. Second and 10. Burton with the handoff. And that's going to be Sudbury again with the carry, and he'll follow Byers over right tackle and gain a couple on the play. A good stop there for Cornerstone Christian, making the tackle their left guard, their left defensive inside tackle, number 34. And that's going to be a gain of just 3 on the play, bringing up 3rd down and 7.
And in the game now, I like to see this at guard. 63, Diego Santillana.
There you go.
And playing guard, getting some time in there.
No, he's playing center.
Oh, he's playing center now. All right, great.
Santillana at center now on 3rd down and 8, or 3rd down and 7 for Parish. Burton's going to throw. And Colgan Pettit with the play on the sideline. He's right at the sticks. 1st down and 10, Parish. And Burton and Pettit have it dialed in.
They do.
Two 3rd down conversions for that combo here in the 4th quarter.
And way to go for the junior wide receiver, knowing exactly, even though the sticks aren't on his side of the field,
he knew.
glancing over, knowing exactly where he needed to be for that 1st down.
No, he needed 8 yards on that play. He got 8 yards in the length of the football and moved the sticks for the Panthers. The clock now running down to 2.5 to play. And now, you would hate to think, but for this second team unit, that clock is becoming their enemy because I think they want to get one in and get revenge for the touchdown earlier. 1st and 10. And this is going to be a handoff to number 28, Brendan Jones. The senior running back will be stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be number 78, Joshua Trinidad, on the tackle.
We had a fumble on the play, too.
Oh, no, that was a fumble. As Jones fumbles, and Trinidad with the recovery. So a nice play there by Cornerstone Christian. But the clock moving with less than 2 minutes to play as time quickly becoming a factor here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Brendan Jones, he was very upset with himself when he got up out of that and realized what had happened. Yeah, he wants to keep the play going for his teammates, keep the drive going, and unfortunately the ball came out.
Well, this is going to give the second unit something to work on because the second unit of offense has been out here on 2 drives and had 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
So Matt Faulkner and crew will have some work for them this week on the scout team. Now, Flores King handing off on 1st down. As back in the game, Azarian Sterling, the starting running back. And an odd decision here by Coach Bachman of the Warriors to bring their starting running back in with less than 80 seconds to play in the ball game.
Just trying to get one more on the board, I guess. Guy Stern, 42, the sophomore, pushing him out. By the way, Guy Stern, one of the fastest players that I've seen, at least on the baseball field. That kid was a pinch runner.
Oh, he can cover some ground.
He can go that 90 feet very quickly.
2nd down and 2 now for Cornerstone Christian as Flores King on the keeper. He'll try to go straight ahead, but does not get past number 18, Ty Whitty. And Whitty combining with number 45, Hank Emmerman on the stop. As we're inside the final minute of play, and it's 3rd down and inches for the Warriors.
Defense holding steady. Yeah, big 3rd down coming up.
And a 7-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. They will have to run this play.
Third and maybe less than a half a yard.
Yeah, third in the length of the football for Cornerstone Christian. Sam Flores-King takes the snap. He'll hand off this time to Cervantes. And look at the play right there by Ty Whitty. Whitty gets in the backfield, and Kamze Arinze pulling, that is Sterling in the football game, pulling him backwards, denying him the first down, as now we're inside of 10 seconds, and it looks like Cornerstone is content to allow time to expire.
And a great way to end the football game right there.
Yeah, third down stop.
Third and inches stop with that prolonged, what do you call it, prolate
spheroid.
That prolate spheroid just inches from the line of gain.
Yes, exactly.
And a great stop.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the final horn is sounded here this evening at Warrior Stadium in San Antonio, Texas, bringing tonight's game in Week 8 to a close. And, ladies and gentlemen, your final score here in San Antonio, your Parish Panthers 42, Cornerstone Christian Warriors 6. And, Forrest, this was all Parish starting from the second quarter. The Warriors come out and have an effective stop, 3 and out, actually, on Parish in the opening drive, as Parish was just finding their feet here to start the game. And only a 7-0 game at the end of the first quarter. We thought that this may not be the big walkover that a lot of people were expecting, but then the second quarter was all Panthers, 35-0 at halftime. The coup de grace from the first team on the opening drive of the third quarter, and then the young men here on second-team defense and second-team offense get some work in the second half, and a very impressive showing by the second-team defense here this evening as Parish moves their record to 6-1 on the season.
As I think through what my if I was the coach, what my objectives were for this evening, and I had 5 or 6 that I had laid out. I think we accomplished at least all the objectives that I had in mind. Get down here safely, check. Get on the field, get the point scored, get the second team in, check. Execute crisply. I think other than that first drive, check.
And I'll give them the first drive because you always want to see what the defense has.
Get the second team in, check. Get out of here without any injuries.
Right.
Check. Now,
there's only one thing on the checklist left at this point. Get something good to eat at Buc-ee's.
I was going to say, get out of those wet clothes, get on the bus. I want to stop at Buc-ee's in New Braunfels. I'm going to get the chopped beef sandwich there,
right,
and then stop at the Buc-ee's in Temple, get the beaver nuggets for the rest of the ride home.
So a double Buc-ee's
stop.
That
double Buc-ee's stop on that, man. You bet.
Fred, keep this in mind. We have to build Buc-ee's for this ad.
I'm telling you, folks, if you haven't stopped at Buc-ee's, do yourself a favor and stop at Buc-ee's.
It's an experience, especially on Friday night. The great thing is you walk in there about this time on a Friday night and you see 6 or 7 different football teams in there grabbing food, grabbing drinks. I know when we came back from the trip down to Houston, Bel Air, we stopped. There was a stop at the Buc-ee's in Madisonville.
Madisonville, yeah.
And there were 7 different football uniforms I saw.
7?
Yeah. 7 different football uniforms in there at about 11:30 at night as they were heading home after that victory.
Yeah, I guess it used to be Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
And now it's Buc-ee's.
Yeah. Back in my day, it was Dairy Queen or Pizza Inn.
Pizza Inn.
There you go.
Yeah. So I think as I go through the objectives, great success.
Absolutely.
Great success. Home game next Friday night against Nolan. That's homecoming.
The final home game.
The final home game. Boy, this has flown by this season.
It is. Time flies when you're having fun.
Flown by. And then, we've got 2 more on the road after that and leading, with Trinity Christian. Nolan's down, Trinity Christian's down, and that leads up to that big game against Prestonwood.
Yeah, folks, if you haven't circled Friday night, November 4th on your calendar, you need to do so now because that is going to be a game which very well could feature 2 8-1 teams playing for the TAPS Division I District 1 championship, and that game will be at Plano Prestonwood Christian on November 4th. And if you can't make it, then definitely tune in with us here on Game On Sports. But boy, would we like to fill that visiting stand on Friday night, October 4th, since it's only about a 15-minute drive north of campus.
And there is a lot of history between those 2 football programs. A lot of history. As Prestonwood put the beat down on Nolan Catholic tonight, 42-7. That's a final score. But
in Fort Worth.
In Fort Worth. The history between Prestonwood, not to jump ahead, 2 games, but just to hype it up, I'm telling you, there is no love lost between those teams going back to 2007, 2008.
Yes.
And I think one of the top 5 victories we had probably was in 2009 over at Prestonwood, where they had stands, and literally the visitor stands were so small they were overflowing with Parish folks. And
Parish
we
blue
finally
and
went down
red.
over there and beat them. So anyway, just a little ancient history there, but I know that vein runs deep through the program with Prestonwood.
And, folks, as we welcome you in here to the post-game show, your final score tonight, Parish Panthers 42, Cornerstone Christian Warriors 6. And we've hyped a little bit that game on November 4th, but more importantly, the Panthers have business to attend to next Friday night as they face their 3rd team in a row with only 1 victory on the season, and that will be the Nolan Catholic Vikings coming to the blue turf at Gloria Snyder Stadium, the final home game of the year. It's also homecoming, so Parish alumni, we'd love to see you out there next Friday night. Come fill up the stands as your Panthers will take on Nolan Catholic and see if they can put victory number 6 on the board this season.
And we got a front coming through next week. The temperature's going to be cool.
Yeah.
We got everything that's associated with homecoming, the big mums, alumni coming back. It's going to be a beautiful scene there at Gloria H. Snyder Stadium. And, kind of thinking back, I don't know if we've had this situation, Brian, before where we've gone through a stretch of, say, 3 teams, 4 teams, if you want to go back to Bishop Lynch, that have had the kind of record that these opponents have.
Yes. If things hold true to form through the game with Trinity Christian, this will be 4 teams in a row after having played their first 5 games against teams who all have won a state championship in their respective division within the last 3 years, 2 of them defending state champions. Now you've got 4 games in a row against teams with only 1 win. So you swing the pendulum from one side completely to the other as far as how the team is faring this season. No disparaging the quality of the team, because I'm sure these youngsters are giving everything they have. But, talent is talent. And right now those teams do not have the talent that it appears this Parish team has. So you have to keep focused. You have to have your eye on the ball as you still have 2 more teams here with only a single win. And it will definitely be a 1-6 Nolan Catholic Viking team that comes to Snyder Stadium next week after a thorough defeat tonight by Prestonwood Christian 42-7.
And that is a pretty dramatic, like you're saying, pendulum swing between the quality of opponents we've had. And in thinking back through the different seasons, you'll run into maybe a 3-4 team, a 4-4 team, 3 whatever. But just to have the series of 1-win teams that we have, I think, is fairly unique after what we've called this year the murderer's row of non-district competition. I was concerned coming into this game. Here we have another, opponent that is having a tough year. You talked about a trap game. And now I feel even better coming out of this game, going into the next 2 games, that we're going to go out, we're going to execute and do exactly what we need to do and not worry about, they're 1-6. Let's just, look past them. I think that, credit to the coaching staff for not overlooking what needs to happen in these upcoming couple of football games and getting these guys ready to play.
Oh, no, and you certainly cannot overlook the Nolan Catholic Vikings, because even though their record has not been in their favor, falling to 1-6 tonight after losing to Prestonwood Christian, this team is scoring points and they are moving the football. Their quarterback, Cole Matsuda, going into tonight, leading all passers in private schools in North Texas with over 1,400 yards passing. Their running back, D.K. Smittick, he's second only to A.J. Sibley of Prestonwood Christian in yardage gained. Their number 1 receiver, Antonio Hall, he is second among all private school receivers in receiving yardage. So they are moving the football. And, Smittick is 4th in private schools here in North Texas, having scored 7 touchdowns on the season. So Nolan Catholic is moving the football. They're putting points on the board. And if Parish comes into that game unprepared, you never know what might happen next Friday night at Snyder Stadium. But if they hold true to form as they did tonight, it should be the outcome that we're looking for, especially on homecoming.
Well, any given Friday night.
Indeed,
They say any given Sunday. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you just went on paper, they would have, already handed these guys the trophies. But
yeah, they would have.
Folks, you've got to play the games, and that's just the way that it is, and it's the way it should be.
It's the way it should be, and
because you never know.
You never know.
And these teams, they deserve the right to try to rise up and defeat a superior opponent.
Yeah, and Nolan Catholic has a strong football tradition there.
Yes.
Being in the state championship, beating them in the state championship a couple of years ago, and they just, with what happened over there last year, it's tough to recover from. But they're rebuilding their program and getting it back on its feet. And I wasn't aware, I hadn't looked ahead at those stats yet, but there are some football players offensively on that team, and it sounds like that perhaps the Parish secondary is going to have their hands full.
Oh, yeah, Daniel Demery and crew for the secondary are definitely going to have their hands full, and it's going to be another golden opportunity for Caleb Irving and Trey Williams and Ian Usry, that front three for Parish, to try and feast on the offense for Nolan Catholic and put some pressure on Cole Matsuda, just like they did here tonight against Sam Jones for Cornerstone Christian. Sam Flores King, rather, the quarterback for Cornerstone Christian. They sack him 5 times in the game, force 2 fumbles, and that's the kind of pressure that they will need to sustain and pressure Nolan with next Friday night to put another W on the board for homecoming.
It is tough to stop those edge rushers at Parish. Trey Williams, Cooper Miller, whoever's coming in there, it's a tall order to stop. And I think I brought up maybe once or twice in the game that you nearly have to have 2 backs in the backfield to help pick that up. Trey Williams is so fast, he's going to beat your right and left tackle easily coming off the edge. And that leaves with a running back that's got to pick him up. Okay, well, you pick him up on that side. Now you've got an edge rusher on the other side coming in. Here comes Maitland. He's got a free shot at your quarterback because that left tackle can't pick him up. So now give me 2 backs in the backfield to pick up the rush. That eliminates another receiver out on the field.
Right.
So that makes my coverage even tighter on the secondary and starts shutting down even more of that passing game.
And now, as we saw tonight, the Nolan Catholic Vikings are going to have a third name that they'll need to worry about coming in on those pass rushes. And that is, in my opinion, the star of tonight's game, the player of the game here tonight, number 4, D.C. Crane. He did it in all phases of the game, on offense, on defense, on special teams. The sophomore with an outstanding game here tonight in the Alamo City. And I wish we had a sideline reporter down there to ask him a couple of questions. But in my mind, a great night by Sawyer Anderson, 2 touchdown passes, 2 rushing touchdowns for Maddox Reed. But D.C. Crane, with just the overall effort he gave out there tonight on the turf, he's got my vote for player of the game here this evening.
I would second that vote. The kid went out there, like you said, in all 3 phases.
Oh, he went out there like his hair was on fire.
Yeah, and playing hard, flying to the football. Just a sophomore, so he's getting even more and more valuable playing time. He's growing, developing. He's flying all over the place. He is part of the leadership council on the team as well. So, hats off to D.C. Crane. And I still want to go back to Sawyer Anderson and what he meant to the team tonight. Yeah, maybe some things weren't quite working well. A few passes were off.
Just a couple.
But when he got the football and he decided to run, he ran with an anger and a desire that for a gentleman who's a sophomore and still, he's still not really the biggest kid playing quarterback out there.
No, the spots are still just barely wearing off at this point.
But ran with an attitude and a vengeance out there that I love it as a fan and I hate it as a fan. It's as Christian Metten texted, tell Sawyer to stop, tell him to get out of bounds. But
you're not going to tell anybody to stop within 2 yards of the end zone. I'm sorry.
And that hasn't been the Parish way. That hasn't been the Parish way for years, whether you're the running back or the quarterback. You don't step out of bounds. You finish your run, and you're the hammer, not the nail on that. He may tackle you, but he's going to feel it tomorrow morning when he wakes up. So really cool to see Sawyer doing that.
And it's a very rare occasion that when you're the one delivering the hit that you get hurt.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, that's what they're worried about. That's why they're texting you saying, make him step out of bounds, get him out of bounds. He doesn't need to lower his head like that. Well, folks, the way it works with the inertia and the momentum, if you're the one delivering the force, the odds of you getting hurt are very much lower than being the person taking the blow.
Yeah.
So I'm perfectly fine with Sawyer Anderson lowering, and if you'll notice on that play where he scored the touchdown, it wasn't his right shoulder that he put down. It was his left shoulder. So he knew to go in there with the non-throwing shoulder and lower that shoulder and get into the end zone. He wanted that rushing touchdown tonight, and he earned it.
Smart, yeah. And what you're saying about if you go full speed, you're not going to get hurt. You're more likely to get hurt
going half
speed. We've preached that for years in the program, and it's absolutely true.
Yes,
got to go full
speed. You almost
speed.
always get hurt going half speed.
Absolutely.
But definitely a Parish Panther squad here on full speed tonight, especially in the first 24 minutes. We'll say the first 28 minutes of this football game as they extend a lead, a 35-0 lead at halftime that they take to 42-0 on their first drive of the third quarter. And then the second team comes in, and a very impressive effort, in my opinion, by the second team defense. They did allow the one touchdown, but it took Cornerstone Christian almost 7 minutes for their first team offense to score on the second team defense. And your final score here tonight, 42-6 in favor of the Panthers. They put this in the win column. They get back on the bus, and now all of the games for the rest of the regular season stay in the Metroplex as we look forward to a very festive homecoming evening next Friday night hosting Nolan Catholic.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you there in the press box, Brian. It's going to be a great night. Great night for football. Great atmosphere. Great night for Parish. It's going to be great to see a lot of players that we haven't seen in a while.
A lot of folks.
Yeah. So I love homecoming. I love being a part of it. And I get to see a lot of guys, I think, that come back that are in the Metroplex from those 2009, 10, 11, 12 teams.
Right, and those gentlemen are probably pushing their late 20s, early 30s at this point.
Which means I'm older now, too.
Yeah, don't you hate it when that happens? But, hey, what we're doing right here is much, much better than the alternative for us.
Yes,
I can
sir.
tell you that.
Yes, sir.
And speaking of, we're looking forward to the next game here with Nolan Catholic. But before we sign off tonight, folks, we want to take a moment and thank everyone who made tonight's broadcast possible for you here on Game On Sports. The executive producer on Game On Sports is Fred Garner. Tonight's game was produced and directed by Zach Sanders. Game On Sports technical producer is Trevor Von Dom. The sights and sounds of tonight's broadcast were brought to you by our outstanding camera crew, Josiah Johnson and Sam Garcia. And also a special thanks to our administrators back at the home office, Lisa Carrillo and Sarah Beasley. And, folks, as we just mentioned, don't forget to join us right here on Game On Sports Network next Friday night, October 21st, as your Parish Panthers celebrate homecoming at their final home game of the regular season, hosting the Nolan Catholic Vikings. We look forward to welcoming all our Parish Panther alumni back to Gloria H. Snyder Stadium for homecoming festivities and a great football game next Friday evening. Jim Dixon and I will have that call for you here live on Game On Sports Network, with our pregame show starting at 6:40 p.m. and kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. next Friday night. Folks, tonight's Parish Panther football broadcast is a copyrighted production of Game On Sports Network and the Parish Episcopal School. Copyright 2022, all rights reserved. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this broadcast without the express consent of Game On Sports Network and the Parish Episcopal School is strictly prohibited. And as we wrap up here tonight, Forrest, your final thoughts on tonight's resounding victory over Cornerstone Christian.
Go to Buc-ee's, get you a chopped beef sandwich, get you a sack of beaver nuggets, enjoy the win tonight, safe travels back home, and start prepping next week for Nolan.
And that brings us also, we want to thank all of the Parish faithful who came out here, made that 5-6 hour drive in the traffic this afternoon to come and support their Panthers. I think we had about 2/3 full over there tonight, several hundred Parish Panther faithful, and we definitely want to thank those folks for joining us here in San Antonio.
We're traveling really well this year. It's great to see that support. And just, thought prayers for everybody getting home safe tonight and making it back for the weekend.
Well, folks, that wraps it up here for us tonight at Warrior Stadium. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for spending your Friday night with us, and we look forward to seeing you next week right here on Game On Sports. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Forrest Baldwin, and our entire Game On Sports production crew, this is Brian Shackelford, thanking you for joining us this evening and for your continued support of Parish Panther football. Your final score again tonight from Warrior Stadium at Cornerstone Christian Academy. Your Parish Panthers 42, Cornerstone Christian Warriors 6. Until next week, good night and God bless from San Antonio, Texas.